uniforms with the gold numerals and lettering and the white letters in trim. And also over here for Lakeside is the white uniforms with the black pants, the black numerals and lettering, and the white helmets. We are set to get the season started from the 30-yard line. Here's a kickoff by Pruder. He kicks it, a high boot right to left. It is taken at the 10 by Co Weiss. He angles to the left side, tries to get around the corner, has some daylight. Co stays on his feet and finally taken down by Damon Schur. So Schur able to make a sure tackle on the far side near the 30-yard line, and that's where Lakeside will start at their own 30-yard line. First down and 10, and we'll be watching Alex Rinkin, the new quarterback for Lakeside.
Well, Schur was the one man to beat on that return. He kind of ran into the back of one of his own guys, and would have been, if not for that, would have been a one-on-one situation, had a chance to break it.
At the own 30-yard line, Lakeside will start. First offensive play of the season. Rinkin under center, Thomas the fullback, offset I with Weiss the deep back. A give is to Thomas, and Thomas only gains a yard. Good defensive pursuit. Jacob DeMars in on the tackle for Osborne. Also assisting on the play from the inside was Osborne's Tyler Emerson. It's a gain of 1 for Miles Thomas.
3 guys there to make the play, met him right at the line and stacked him up there, and it's going to bring up 2nd and long for Lakeside.
2nd down and 9 for the Knights at their own 31-yard line. Moving left to right on your radio dial, just underway to kick off the 2010 football season. Rinkin back to throw, being pressured, ducks under and has room right up the middle. Rinkin, a nice shake and bake, and drilled from behind, but not before he picks up first down yardage down to the Osborne 37. That's a gain of 12. Boy, Rinkin improvising, Chad. Looked like he was dead meat in the backfield, somehow find a seam and made something out of nothing, and he's able to pick up 12 on the play.
Well, Alex did a good job of stepping up there and avoiding the tackle. Almost went down to a knee to get down low enough to get away from the outstretched arms of the defender. Made a good move and a nice gain for a first down for the Knights.
So Alex Rinkin with the first down carry, at quarterback, a junior. He turns, he gives it to Miles Thomas. Thomas nowhere to go. How about second effort? Thomas able to get to the 32. How in the world did Thomas get out of that? 3 Osborne Bulldogs had him wrapped up, but Thomas able to fight forward for a gain of 5 when it looked like he'd have nothing. And that was something Coach Reiner said earlier this week to us, Chad, was I'm worried about our tackling, especially at the 8-man level, a lot of open field.
With the transition to 8-man, I think most coaches' biggest concern is on the defensive end because you've got 3 less guys out there to tackle the ball carrier. You end up out on an island a lot more than you do in 11-man style.
2nd down, and we'll call it 6. A gain of 4 for Thomas on that last carry. There's a flag on the play. Rinkin rolling to his left on play action, and the call, the flag thrown by the linesman here on the side judge. That would be Byron Paula. Jayek with the call, and it is the penalty motion on Lakeside for the first penalty of the season. That's one thing we'll probably see some of, Chad, is some penalties, maybe some turnovers early in the season, although you can't blame it on the weather. It's picture perfect.
No, it is a beautiful night, but like you said earlier, Wade, they've been doing nothing but practice and lifting weights and running and doing everything all summer in 2-a-days and getting through all that. So there's going to be a few jitters to get worked out here early.
2nd down and along 11. Rinkin steps back, pump fake, going deep, has Shoemaker open, but overthrows him by a yard. Shoemaker got behind the coverage. In on the coverage with Slothauer. Also there was Damon Schur, but the pass a bit too far. But if you're going to miss on that pass, miss a little bit too long, don't underthrow it to where it's picked off.
Well, you want to try to throw it, like you said, where only your guy can get it, and unfortunately on that one, Shoemaker just needed about another foot to get to that one. But a good play. He made a good move to get himself open, had a couple of steps, and they just couldn't quite connect.
10:05 to go in the first quarter. First drive of the game. Lakeside, 3rd down and 12. Want to set up the side screen left side, and the pass off the left arm of Co Weiss near midfield on the far side. So Lakeside will be forced to punt, you would think, on 4th down and 12. They have the ball at the Osborne 38-yard line. And the Bulldogs, you look at this team, and offensively last year averaged 21 points a game. Lakeside averaged 33, but remember, Osborne played 11-man football, played against the likes of Norton, Phillipsburg, and Smith Center, so that helped bring down the offensive output. Lakeside played 8-man, and there's usually more points scored in 8-man football than 11-man. 80-yard field in 8-man, of course. Here's a snap, and it is a fake. Co Weiss has it. Co running left, lost his shoe, and he is upended short of the first down, taken down at the 33-yard line. So a gain of 5 for Co Weiss, but not enough for the first down. And so Osborne will take over good field position as the Bulldogs will start at their own 33-yard line.
Well, if you're Coach Colin Reiner, I think you have to be pleased with that first defensive series outside of one play that was kind of a broken play that they're able to make a gain on. They got the turnover there on 4th down and have got the ball.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. We'll set their offense here in a moment. Slothower gives it to Pruder, and Pruder is able to pick up 3, maybe 4 on the play. Let's set the lineup for you for Osborne offensively. Dylan Spears back as an end, 165-pound senior. Stephen Mick, the other end, a senior. Braden Schultz, the left guard, a senior. Ben Webb, a senior at right guard. Michael Swellinger is the junior center. Ethan Slothower, honorable mention selection last year in the Mid-Continent League as a sophomore quarterback. He's a junior this year. Jacob DeMars is usually in the backfield, although they're going to start with Pruder and Schur because Schur is able to play. He was questionable early in the week, so we'll see DeMars later. Here, option, Slothower running left, and he's taken down at midfield, making tackle Connor Storr along with Aramendi, Julian Aramendi for Lakeside. A gain of 3. It sets up third and about 3.
Sure, doing a good job, or Storr rather, doing a good job there of getting away from the block and making a nice tackle, wrap up, short gain, bring up third down.
So third down and 3 for Osborne. No score, 9 minutes to play first quarter on a beautiful night to kick off the 2010 football season here on KD Country 94 and on the web, kdcountry94.com. Single back, now Schur goes in motion. They toss it to Schur, running right, and Schur taken down. Wonderful play in the backfield. Co Weiss read it, shot the gap, and drilled the running back Schur for a loss all the way back to the 35. What a play.
Co Weiss just about beat the ball on the pitch that went to Schur, and he tried to get around the outside and utilize that speed, but too good of an angle, did a too good job of anticipating the play and made a good tackle.
Loss of 5, and it's 4th down and 8. Bulldogs in punt formation. Jacob DeMars to punt it away, and standing back, the ever-dangerous junior Miles Thomas, standing on his own 10-yard line. Wind will not be a factor tonight. Here is the kick by DeMars. He gets it away, angles it at far side. Want to keep it away from Thomas. It's well out of bounds. Jeff Zimmer comes up on the far side, and he's going to mark the ball out of bounds at the, let's see here, 14-yard line. Start the 14 for Lakeside.
Lakeside got some penetration there, and I believe that was number 64 got through there. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That would have been Alex Clark got through, almost got a hand on the football before it came off, but actually a pretty good punt down inside the 20. You're going to have Lakeside starting deep in their own territory.
Well, and more importantly, no return, so a good net on that punt out of bounds. That was the directions given to DeMars. Keep it away from Miles Thomas. Lakeside will start actually at their own 15, moving left to right. Here's a toss play, near side. Weiss trying to get outside, gets a nice block, and Weiss able to pick up good yardage to the 21. It's a gain of 6 for Co Weiss. Good block on the corner by Lakeside.
Yeah, it was an excellent block out there on the outside. It was thrown by Jesse Bliss and got around the corner and up the sideline before he was forced out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain.
So it'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Knights. 8 minutes to go, first quarter. No score, second possession for Lakeside tonight. Co Weiss, the deep back, the tailback, fullback is Thomas, and Weiss was trying to fix his helmet, and flags are thrown, and Weiss was moving, and there's a quick snap, and I think JX is going to come in and say that I have officials timeout to fix the chin strap, but we shall see. The officials get together and have a conference. Lakeside offensively, they do have weapons back from last year. I mentioned Storr and Shoemaker. And one of the things Kurt Christian said, the head coach, assisted by Kyle Beisner and Corey Bucher, is that one of the strengths for this Lakeside team this year, besides experience and good numbers with 32 out, 16 upperclassmen, 16 underclassmen, is that they can catch the ball. The question is going to be, can the offensive line hold up and give Rinkin enough time to throw the football? So here's Rinkin under center on 2nd down and 4. The toss goes to Weiss. Nice cutback by Coe to avoid the first defender, then tripped up on the far side, past the 21, down to the 24. It's a gain of 3 for Co Weiss.
Number 14, Jacob DeMars on the tackle there, but yeah, a very nice cutback to the middle and then trying to work the ball back upfield. Nice gain on 2nd down.
So it'll be 3rd and short for Lakeside. They need to pick up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Lakeside Osborne met 2004 and 2005 on the gridiron. That was 11-man football, and Osborne dominated, beating Lakeside in downs 35-0, 42-12 in Osborne 2005. So it's at 5 years since they met on the football field. 3rd down and a long one, and keeping it is Rinkin, and Rinkin shoots through. What a quarterback sneak, basically. Rinkin able to pick up huge yardage past the 35 to the 36-yard line. That ended up being a gain of 11. You don't see that very often.
Well, Justin Pruder, number 23 for the Bulldogs, saved a touchdown on that play. As the quarterback came through, got across the line, had only one guy to beat, luckily for the Bulldogs, he didn't do it.
Well, Lakeside been worried about their offensive line, but boy, they got off the ball on that play. First down and 10. Looked real good. Here's Rinkin. I'm going to try the same play. And Rinkin, why not? Twists and turns his way past midfield, Osborne territory at the 37-yard line. And that's a gain of 7. Well, Chad, you keep it simple. If it's working, and just let the quarterback keep it if you're going to pick 6-7 yards up at a per shot.
Well, like you said earlier, Coach Christian's main concern with his team at this point in the early season was his offensive line, and so far they've gotten a pretty good surge. They've picked up blocks, and the backs are and the quarterback and running backs are making some guys miss, and they're moving the ball pretty well right now.
Second down and 2. Toss to Bo Domney, who just came into the ball game. He cuts back. Look out, Bo's very quick and shifty, very small but elusive, all the way down to the Osborne 25. And that is a gain on the play of 12. So right now, Lakeside moving the ball, running the football. And Coach Christians was talking about Bo Domney earlier this week when I was interviewing him, and he said he's fun to watch. He's real quick, he's real shifty, and he's hard to see for a defense because he's so short.
He is a small guy, but that also comes with some advantages: the low center of gravity and the ability to make a quick cut and move, let alone not be seen.
First down at 10, no score, and jumping offside for the Bulldogs was Michael Schillinger, the junior lineman. A little bit antsy. That's the first penalty of the night on Osborne.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was watching a couple of the linebackers there. It looked like they just had a little bit of an edge to them, like they've seen 4 or 5 plays now in a row where Lakeside's been able to move the ball, and they're wanting to get it stopped and got a little bit ahead of themselves.
So first down and 5 now for Lakeside at the Bulldog 20, moving left to right, no score, 5:54 to play, first quarter, split backfield. Rinkin has time, throws a crossing pattern, caught by Shoemaker. He's in for a touchdown. Connor Shoemaker, the All-League performer a year ago at end, on a crossing pattern. Rinkin put it right on the money, led him perfectly. Shoemaker didn't have to let up at all. He caught the pass at full stride and into the end zone. It's a 20-yard touchdown reception. Rinkin throwing it to Shoemaker.
Shoemaker coming off the right side, did about 15 yards and straight across the field, and Rinkin made a great throw, hit him right in stride, and had nobody giving him any threat. Found the corner of the end zone to give Lakeside the early lead.
2-point try, running wide, now cutting back inside, spinning his Weiss, trying to find the end zone, but cannot. 2-point conversion fails, and so Lakeside strikes first. They score the first points of the season in this ball game. 6-0 Lakeside, 5:47 to play in the first quarter. Back after this. This is high school football on KDNS, Downs Beloit, Kansas. How many plays was that?
5.
5 plays. And then I put the time and the score.
5:47.
There you go.
Catch all the scores tonight on KD 94. Our family scoreboard show at 10:05.
Welcome back. Wade Gersher, Chad Halleck with you. Lakeside striking first. 6-play, 65-yard drive capped on the 20-yard touchdown pass from Alex Rinkin to Connor Shoemaker. And with 5:47 to go first quarter, it is 6-0 in favor of Lakeside. Now a squib kick. It gets through the front line of defense. And it's finally pounced on by Ben Webb to prevent a turnover. So Osborne will start near their own 20-yard line with their second possession of the ball game. Both these teams have worked extremely hard in the weight room this summer. That's why there's so much optimism, I think, for both these teams, is they're working hard. They're turning things around, both these programs. They've got very good head coaches in Kirk Christians and Cullen Reiner, and they're trying to just get to a winning season and then maybe make the playoffs. And this is the first test right here tonight, the Osborne County rivalry between Lakeside and Osborne. First and 10, double tight end set. Now Sure backs off as a wing back. He's going to go in motion to the far side. They give it to Pruder, and Pruder able to pick up 4 to the 24, making a tackle. Miles Thomas also there was Connor Shoemaker.
A lot of things that they can do out of that formation with Sure coming around the backside in motion. It really makes your defense, especially your linebackers, really have to be on their toes. Just had the simple belly style give there to the fullback, picked up about 3 yards.
So it'll be second down. We'll call it a long 6 at the 24-yard line for Osborne. Lakeside defense, Tracy Darnell and Noah Miller, the defensive ends, nose guard Julian Aramendi. The linebackers, Bo Domini, Miles Thomas, Co Weiss, the corners, Connor Storr, and Brandon Smith, who had 5 interceptions a year ago. Slothauer gives it to the up back. That is the fullback, Pruder, and Pruder with a quick burst to the 30, close to a first down for the Bulldogs. He'll be about a yard short.
They're going to pull that ball back a little bit. It looks like it's going to be about a foot, maybe 2 for the first down. I don't think we're going to get a measurement here. But another give just right up the middle. And Osborne now being able to come back and run the ball on the Knights.
Knights had a nice drive a moment ago and ran the ball extremely well. That set up the pass. Rankin the Shoemaker 20 yards out to take a 6-0 lead. 2-point conversion failed. 3rd and 1 for Bulldogs at their own 30. Give to Pruder. He has some running room and almost breaks it for a touchdown. Saving the TD for the moment was Connor Storr. Also there was Shoemaker, but Pruder, one of those excellent sprinters, one of those players with excellent speed for Osborne, nearly broke that, took it all the way to the house. Instead, he has to settle for a nice gain of 13.
Well, Lakeside needs to find a way to close up the middle on that defensive line, because that's a heavy dose of Pruder, 3 plays in a row, and about 20 total yards on 3 plays on pretty much the same play.
How the I formation, the deep back is Sure. Double tight end set. Lead back is Pruder. 1st and 10. Counter play. It goes to Sure. Cuts back and look out. Sure's at the 20. 15. Being chased by Shoemaker. They won't get him. Touchdown Osborne.
Sure came through the line right up the middle again. 4 plays in a row. They're running pretty much right behind the center, and he made a cut out to the side, and they said, I've been hearing for weeks about how fast this Sure kid is. They say he's so fast that he makes fast people look not fast, and he showed it there as he got around through the middle, cut it to the outside, and turned on the burners and knotted up here at 6 apiece.
38-yard touchdown run for Damon Sure, and so we are tied at 6. Osborne able to respond after Lakeside had scored on their previous possession. So Osborne will go for the 2-point conversion, try to take the lead. You won't see extra points in 8-man football very often. It'll be the 2-point try. Play action. Slothauer rolls to his left, throws against his body, and too tall. Intended for Spears, incomplete. And we are tied. 4:02 to play, first quarter. It's Osborne 6, Lakeside 6. Back after this 1-minute timeout. This is high school football on KD Country 94.
I'll give you a little nugget for you. When they score and it gets really, like the crowd gets really loud at the end, what I do is I usually be quiet just for a few seconds once I get the call done, just to let people at home gather.
To Connor Shoemaker, but Chad Osborne able to respond right back with a quick drive, capped by the 38-yard touchdown scamper by Damon Sure.
They sure did after each team had a chance with the ball, get it on the second series, and score touchdowns.
Here's the kickoff. It is taken by Co Weiss at his 7. Co trying to find room to the far side, leaps over a defender, out of bounds on the far side near the 20-yard line. There is a flag on the play at the 20 on the far side, so we'll wait to see what the official ruling is. We do have a score to pass along to you. Rock Hills leading St. John's Tipton, our feature game on our sister station, Z96.3 The Lake. Rock Hills 14, St. John's Tipton nothing. 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's going to be a tough year for St. John's Tipton with only 11 players out. But oddly enough, speaking of 11, Kurt Christians coached St. John's for quite some time. And he had a team in 1996 that Coach Christians that only had 11 players. They were called the Energized 11. They made it all the way, couldn't scrimmage, made it all the way to the 1996 state championship against Rolla, finished 10-3, finished second in the state, and had 11 kids on the entire roster. It's pretty amazing, and Coach Christian's a wonderful coach at Lakeside. Very happy and very fortunate to have him as their head coach. So the penalty was on Lakeside, and here's the give. Miles Thomas, he may have fumbled the ball. The ball is loose. Let's see. It looks like Lakeside was able to fall back on top of it.
Yep, they did. It looks like. Well, I couldn't see who.
I couldn't either.
See who jumped on it.
It was luckily for Lakeside. It was a white jersey, not a maroon jersey. So
that it was.
Let's see, maybe a gain of 1 on the play for Thomas. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as the Bulldogs making some substitutions as Braden Schultz comes out of the ball game, and in there Schellinger and Emerson defensive tackles. Also Spears at an end along with Webb. 2nd down, and we'll call it 10. Here's Weiss, and Weiss is met and dropped Ben Webb with the initial contact. Slothauer also there, a gain of a couple.
Good power running there on the right-hand side by Lakeside. Got 2 blockers out in front, picked up a guy there, and able to pick up about a 4-yard gain.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7 for Lakeside. They have the ball at their own 13-yard line, 6-6 tie. Offset I formation behind Rinkin, the junior QB, the new starting quarterback. Joel Cushing certainly did a great job last year as a senior. He has graduated. Whoa! I think they were going to pull the guard there, and they were going to run the play to the left, don't you think? Big movement there by Tracy Darnell. I think he gave away the play. He took off, pulling to the left, and nobody else moved, and that's about the easiest call this officiating crew will have all year long.
Well, they say if you're going to make a mistake, you might as well go all out. And he actually came up out of his stance and made about 3 steps down the line before he grabbed his face mask and turned around and realized the mistake that he'd made.
It gets it, Coach Christians, for them to call the exact same play again. They might. I wouldn't put it past them. 3rd down and 11 after the 5-yard penalty. Here's Rinkin. Has plenty of time. Throws. That's a wobbler. Intercepted. Picked off by Justin Pruder at the 30 all the way back to the 15 and pinball down at the 5. 25-yard interception return all the way to the 5 for Justin Pruder, trying to go to Co Weiss on the far side, and that one just really didn't come out of the hands of Alex Rinkin very well at all. It was a duck.
Co Weiss was out there. Excuse me. Shoemaker tried to get the ball to him and really didn't have much of a place to even throw the ball, and then underthrew it to boot and turned it over, and now Osborne in business.
1st and goal at the 5. Here is a handoff to Pruder, and Pruder down to the 3. It's a gain of a couple. Tackle made by Tracy Darnell, an all-league performer a year ago in the Pike Trail League at defensive end. One thing that people are going to have to get used to in Osborne, and even people in the press box doing the board and everything else, is the 40 is midfield, and the field is shorter on both ends. So it takes some getting used to, especially if you're used to 11-man football. The lone setback is Pruder on 2nd goal from the 3 for the Bulldogs, trying to cash in on the interception thrown by Alex Rinkin. Sure goes in motion to the far side. They give it to Pruder, and Pruder is in for a touchdown. Brandon Smith made the tackle, but unfortunately he made it in the end zone. Pruder with the 3-yard touchdown run, and really that's appropriate for Justin Pruder, Chad, because he's the one that made the interception that set this up.
Well, so far Justin Pruder been calling his name a lot, offensively and defensively rather, with that pick. Ran the ball again just off the right side of the center and managed to spin his way through a tackle and land across the goal line.
So the Bulldogs will go for the 2-point conversion. They lead 12-6, 1:29 to go, 1st quarter. Slothauer under center. He hands it off to Pruder, running hard. Oh, he stood up and driven back. Boy, it looked like Pruder. He had a burst of energy, like there was no way anybody'd stop him. Instead, Lakeside, Noah Miller was there along with, I think, Shoemaker and others. They teamed up to stop Pruder. It looked like he had a head of steam and was going to go in, stopped about a half-yard short of the goal line. 2-point conversion fails, but Osborne does take the lead on the 3-yard touchdown run by Justin Pruder. He set it up with the interception. Osborne cashes it on the Lakeside turnover. It's 12-6 Osborne. 1:29 to go, 1st quarter. Back after this. How you doing on that drive chart and everything? Everything making sense? Working out for you? I believe you're the man. You're the man. You're on top of it. I knew you were a quick learner. try not to look at you because I'm getting blinded by the sun.
Oh.
It's not because I don't like you. It's
No,
just,
no, that's all right.
I look and I'm blind. Not from your head, from the sun.
Come on now.
It was there. It was too easy.
Oh, yeah, it's way too easy. I cut my own hair today.
Yeah, well done. Bulldogs have the lead. Here's a squib kick to the left side up front. Oh, making the pouncing on the football and then getting driven to the turf, drilled immediately, but able to hang on to the football was Trevor Winkle, a sophomore, 165-pounder on the front line there on the kickoff return team for Lakeside. So Winkle does a nice job staying at home and getting on top of the football, and as a result, Lakeside has good field position. They'll start just past their own 35-yard line, about 35 and a half. They're moving left to right in the first quarter. Osborne leading 12-6. They've scored the last 12 points unanswered after Lakeside scored the first touchdown of the night. Offset I, Storr, and Shoemaker are the ends. Storr to the left, Shoemaker to the right. Here's Miles Thomas, and Miles just hasn't had any running room tonight. Ethan Slothauer with the initial tackle, holding him up by the shoelaces, and the rest of his teammates come in to finish him off. Spears and also DeMar is in on the stop as Thomas loses a yard, maybe two. Miles Thomas had a wonderful season last year as a sophomore. Honorable mention Pike Trail League. He ran for 467 yards. He had 318 yards receiving, scored 15 touchdowns plus a couple of kick returns for scores. And when he's in the open field, look out, he's kind of like Damon Schur. We saw Schur score on a long touchdown run earlier tonight. Thomas hasn't had any running room, though. Here's Weiss, and he's run into by his own man. Alex Clark, his offensive lineman, actually was in the way. Coe ran into him and was dropped by his teammate, in essence, able to then touch him on the ground and get credit for the tackle with DeMars, but that's a loss of a couple.
Makes an easy play for DeMars there. Pretty much just has to fall on the guy that's already on his way down, whether that was just a misstep or maybe a little miscommunication there, a little blow up in the backfield, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long for Lakeside.
3rd and 13. This could be the final play of the first quarter. Osborne leading 12-6. Rankin under center has a touchdown pass and an interception. And jumping offside is the left guard, and that would be Clark, I believe. Yep, Clark jumping offside. And you're going to see that early in the season. And a lot of people say, well, it's just a matter of concentration. But when you have practiced for the last 2-3 weeks, and there have been some hot days, and you're just ready to see somebody in another uniform, you're a little bit giddy at the line of scrimmage, especially first game of the year.
And I suppose being 16 or 15 or
Has something to do with
17
it.
might have nothing to do with it.
That's
either.
true. Rankin, play action, going over the middle, and really over the middle to the left side along the hash mark. The Shoemaker too tall. Slothauer with the coverage. Storr was running down the middle of the field, but he was covered. It's a good pass coverage there by Osborne. That's the end of the first quarter. It'll be 4th and 18 when we come back for Lakeside. Osborne leading at the end of one, 12-6. Back with more high school football on KD Country 94 after this 1-minute timeout. And then this is when I change colors on everything. You're the man. Rock Hill's 30-0 end of first quarter.
Dropped 30 on them, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they're all freshmen and sophomores too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gonna be a lot of games like that.
Evidently something going on with some seniors who did come out, and I never have heard what that was all about.
Yeah, they didn't have too many though. They only had I think 2 or 3 seniors in that whole class.
Would have been better than none.
I agree with you. Wade Gersher, Chad Halley back with you on KD Country 94 and on the World Wide Web, KDCountry94.com. Thanks to our partners, Network1Sports.com. We begin the second quarter, 4th and 18. Coe Weiss to punt, being rushed, gets a high kick, but it's kind of short. Getting away from it, though, is DeMars. I thought DeMars might come up and catch that. Instead, he lets it roll, takes a night bounce all the way down to the 15. So that bounce allowed Lakeside to pick up 10 yards there on the punt. And so Osborne will start at their own 15-yard line, leading 12-6. If you're just tuning in, Lakeside scored on their second possession, a 6-play, 65-yard touchdown drive, capped by the Alex Rinkin 20-yard touchdown pass to Connor Shoemaker. But Osborne on the very next drive, they were able to go 4 plays and they were able to go 60 yards. It's capped by a 38-yard touchdown run by Damon Schur, made it 6-6, and then Justin Pruder able to pick off Alex Rinkin pass at the 30, return at 25 yards at the 5. 2 plays later, Pruder from 3 yards out to give Osborne the 12-6 advantage that they hold with 11:50 to go, second quarter. Bulldogs now moving left to right here in the second quarter. Out of the I formation, play action, bootleg to the near side. Slothower thrown on the run. Oh, it is incomplete. Boy, if Brandon Smith doesn't get his paw on that one, that is caught by Osborne Stephen Mick, and he's still running into the end zone. There was no defensive players behind Mr. Mick, and Brandon Smith saved a touchdown.
Smith did a good job, actually, of catching up after he'd gotten beat and lost a couple of steps to the receiver. Made a nice play accelerating there on the ball to knock it away, and like you said, save almost a sure touchdown.
So second down and 10. Slothower showing a good arm there on the run to his natural right-handed side. Once again, 2 tight ends. Out of the I formation, Pruder the lead back, Schur the deep back. It goes to Pruder. Oh, was the ball loose? Yeah, it was. It's loose and recovered by Lakeside. As recovering it is Tracy Darnell for the Knights. Well, that was one of those plays, I think you saw that too, Chad, where it was one of those option reads for the quarterback. You either keep it in the running back's hands and Pruder, or you rip it away at last moment. It looked like Slothower was hesitant and then tried to rip it away and never did have it.
It looked like Pruder wasn't sure whether or not he was supposed to have the ball, and then they just lost the exchange and pretty much dropped it right there at the line of scrimmage. Lakeside able to cover it up, and now we're back in business with an opportunity to tie this game back up or take the lead.
So turnovers now even at 1 apiece. Here's Weiss running right, and Coe is tackled. Tackle made by Ben Webb from his defensive end position. Also over there was Dylan Spears. Gain of, we'll give him a gain about 1 yard there for Coe Weiss. Actually, they 6 yards. It's kind of hard from this angle to see the yard line exactly, as we're off here at about the 30 on the Osborne side. And Lakeside now has it at the Osborne, 13-yard line. So a gain of 6 for Weiss on that carry. It'll be 2nd and 4. Once again, the offset eye. Let's see what Rinkin does on 2nd down and short. It goes to Weiss, running right behind his right guard, and he's upended at the, they're going to mark that at the 6-yard line. So Weiss with a gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 1.
Interesting play call here for Coach Christians. Down this far at the end of the field, 3rd down. They seem maybe have lost a little momentum, but now had a chance to get it back, and if they can push it across the line here, make a world of difference in the psychological game for the Knights.
3rd down and 1. Rinkin keeps it. He stood up by DeMars. Second effort by Rinkin. Depends on the forward progress. Looks like Byron Paulins marking him at about the 1.5, which is enough for a 1st down. So good effort by Alex Rinkin. The Lakeside trying to take advantage of the Osborne turnover, just like the Bulldogs took advantage of the Lakeside Knight interception. The fumble between Slothower and Pruder deep in their own territory has set Lakeside up in excellent position as they now have 1st down and goal about 1.5 yards away from pay dirt. Chance to tie the ball game. Rinkin comes to the line of scrimmage. Bo Dominy is into the ball game. Split backfield along with Thomas. The end on the left side is Storr. Shoemaker on the right side. 8 men in the box. And into the end zone with the carry is Alex Rinkin for a touchdown. Boy, a quick burst of speed there by Rinkin. He exploded right behind the center and right guard, and he's in for the touchdown. We're tied at 12.
Well, there's no hesitation on that play. Rinkin got the ball, went off center to the right side in between the center and the guard, right up the middle. Nobody touched him into the end zone, and now an opportunity for Lakeside to take the lead.
Many times, we've done a lot of 8-man football games over the years. Many times, 8-man game between 2 even teams. It comes down to plays just like this. 2-point conversions. Who can convert after the touchdown? 12-12 tie. Rinkin wants to throw. Has time. Rolls right. Now being pressured. Throws across the field and just off the hand of Storr in the back of the end zone. So incomplete pass. So both teams are 0 for 2 on 2-point conversion tries. 10:01 to go. First half. It's Osborne 12. Lakeside 12. Back after this. This is high school football, KDNS. Got a good one, Chad. Yeah. 38-0 Rock Hill. I kidded the guys. They could make it for the second half down here.
What's that now?
I kidded the guys that, that they would probably be back here they could be here by halftime of our game. The players wouldn't last very long. Welcome back to Osborne. The battle between these two Osborne County rivals taking place on the football field for the first time since 2005, which was 11-man football 5 years ago for both teams. Now 8-man football this year, the first season of 8-man football for the Osborne Bulldogs. Lakeside Osborne knotted up at 12 apiece. There's a squibber up the middle of the field. It is taken by Spears. Spears with a nice move, and then it's dropped by Bo Domley. The ball's loose, and it's recovered by
Trevor Winkle.
Lakeside. That's right, Trevor Winkle, Johnny on the spot, the sophomore, makes the recovery. So back-to-back turnovers for Osborne, and Lakeside gets the ball back. They have it Bulldog territory at the 31.
Special teams and turnovers. You hear coaches say it all the time, and especially in the 8-man game, like you mentioned before the break, special teams are huge. A lot of time your returns, and a play like that, no matter what side of the ball you're on, you got to take care of it, special teams, offense or otherwise, and Osborne having a little trouble with that at the moment.
So 1st and 10 for the Knights. Store split left. Rinkin wants to throw. Has time. He fires across and incomplete. It through the hands of Connor Shoemaker, and DeMars with an extra lick on Shoemaker, but that was a legal play. He's trying to time it out. Some Lakeside fans maybe took exception to it, but a clean play, incomplete pass. But that's one that Connor, I'm sure, is going back to the huddle saying, hey, I should have had that one.
Just a shade underthrown probably, but a ball, like you said, that Shoemaker normally probably would get his hands on and make a play on.
9:53 to play in the second quarter. 12-12 tie. Osborne muffing the kick return on the squib kick. They fumbled, and Lakeside in business. Here's Weiss. He's able to jump over one defender and down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 for Coe, who has 8 carries for 28 yards tonight. Alex Rinkin, 4 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown run. Rinkin's also thrown for a touchdown pass at 20 yards. Shoemaker's also thrown an interception.
Covered by DeMars.
Mick and DeMars teaming up to make the tackle for the Bulldog defense. Well, Colin Reiner and his coaching staff, Kenny Ubelaker as well, their concerns coming in was more on the defensive side, wrapping up and making tackles. They did that time. 3rd down and 5. And the give, it goes to Miles Thomas, and Miles has a first down to the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 6, move to chains, first down Knights.
Thomas right up the middle on that carry there, got stopped about 4 yards past the line, but made a good effort and picked up probably an extra 3 yards after first contact on that play.
Timeout called by the Bulldogs. We'll take one as well. 9:09 to go first half. It's 12-12. Lakeside Osborne knotted up. What's that? Okay. Well, they're sometimes off too. Okay, all right.
First and many, probably. Hopefully most of them will be someplace else.
Get used to it. Yeah.
Saturday night at 5:45, pick up the Football Express on KD Country 94. A preview of all the area games.
12-12 tie. Bulldogs calling a timeout to regroup defensively. Lakeside has it at the Osborne 19, moving to our left. Double tied in, offset eye, play action. Rinkin rolls left. Oh, he had a man wide open, but Rinkin ran out of time. Shoemaker was open down the middle of the field, but Rinkin had to tuck it and protect the football. Gains 1. Nice job, Ethan Slothower there. Also for the Bulldogs was Braden Schultz. He's a nice addition to this team, a 240-pound lineman.
I think it's possible that he may have missed Shoemaker as open as he was or backfield before he decided with the pressure coming that he had to tuck and run. I just don't think that he ever actually saw him, because even at the point that he did tuck and run, he could have easily flipped that ball over there. I just don't think he ever saw him.
I agree. So second down and 9, 8:32 and ticking first half. Lakeside Osborne tied at 12. Rock Hills leading St. John's Tipton 38-0. Here's Coe Weiss, avoids the first tackler. He's able to spin and burrow his way to the 15. It's a gain of 4 for Co-Weiss. One thing that stands out to me about these running backs for both teams is that you're going to have to really make a great tackle to stop them with the initial contact. And defensively, you're going to have to team up to make a stop.
These guys are quick, they're evasive, and they've got a little grit to them, too. We've seen several plays where guys have hit the hole, been stood up, and still managed to fight for another 2-3 yards. We've seen that several times now.
3rd down and 6 for the Knights, probably 4-down territory. They have the ball resting on the 15-yard line of the Bulldogs. And coming in motion is Weiss. He gets the call to the 13, a gain of 2, and it'll bring up a 4th down situation, 4th and about 4 for Lakeside. So what will Coach Christians dial up here? He is an innovator when it comes to play calling. He wants balance offensively, wants to run it and throw it like most coaches do, but he'll spread it out. He'll use the short passing attack. He'll take the occasional deep shot. We've seen some play action tonight as well. We'll see what he does, but first they're going to talk it over. Timeout on the field, 7:31 to go, first half, 4th and 4 coming up for Lakeside. We're in a 12-12 tie.
Christians took that time out if you're tracking that.
I figured so, 4th and 4.
They're sure working the right side. I don't think I've seen them hand the ball off to the left yet.
There's a problem right there. Another time on Lakeside.
That's all about.
Back-to-back timeouts.
Evidently didn't like something he saw.
No, must not have.
Came trotting right out there and signaled for it.
I've seen him do that before, back-to-back timeouts. Charging now, so that's good.
Basketball coaching moves. You get them out there and
see what
the set looks like.
If they
bring
give it
back
away.
Again.
Yep. Welcome back, 4th and 4. Lakeside calling back-to-back timeouts. That's why we had the long commercial break. Rink in the throw, play action, has a man open, but threw it behind the intended target. Shoemaker in the end zone, batted away by Damon Schur, incomplete. So the Osborne Bulldog defense gave up some yards, but able to tighten, stiffen at the right time, and force the turnover on downs.
Coach Christians dialed up the play action, tried to move the pocket. He said earlier this week when we were speaking with him that he was concerned about the offensive line. You've noticed when they are looking to pass the ball that they're trying to move the pocket, keep it moving side to side, and not allow that rush coming up the middle to be a factor, and had an opportunity there, just a little bit behind on the throw, and Osborne takes over.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They have it at their own 14-yard line, moving left to right. Handoff. Oh, there we go. It's Slothauer and Pruder. They couldn't figure it out. They fumble the ball, and it's recovered by Lakeside once again. Co-Weiss able to come away. Actually, that was Julian Aramendia came away with a fumble recovery. That was the exact same play they fumbled on the previous possession, Chad. It's a read by the quarterback, but the quarterback and the fullback got to figure out, okay, if Slothauer's going to rip it away, you got to make sure you grab it. And if you're Pruder, you got to let him have it or just make sure he can't take it away from him.
Well, as a quarterback, Slothauer's got to be the ultimate decision maker out there on the field, and he has to be definitive with those decisions that he makes.
So the third turnover of the night for Osborne. Weiss in motion. He gets the carry, and Weiss fighting and then twisted to the ground. Tackle made by Schlellinger after a 4-yard pickup for Co-Weiss, who has 11 carries for 38 yards. Well, turnovers can be killers, and we've seen both teams turn it over tonight. Lakeside with an interception thrown that turned into a quick 6 points for Osborne. Osborne with 3 fumbles in this first half, one that's turned into a touchdown. The last one didn't hurt them because the Bulldog defense came up with a stand, but now the defense is put in a tough predicament once again after another turnover by Osborne offensively. Offset I, 2nd down and 7. Weiss, he's able to stay on his feet, cuts back, avoids Sure, and he's in for a touchdown. What a move by Coe Weiss, and he's in for 6. It's an 11-yard touchdown run by Coe as he's able to avoid the first defender, and he nearly fell down, able to put his hand on the turf, which is legal, keep his balance, and able to score.
Coe Weiss actually made 2 very good moves on that play. When he first got the ball, there was a guy coming back in the backfield. I believe it might have been Slothauer that came up from the backfield. No, check that. I'm sorry. That would have been DeMars. Came up, cut him to the left on him, worked back 5 yards or so back up the field, made a cut to the right to make sure miss, and trotted on into the end zone to retake the lead for Lakeside.
So 2 turnovers, 2 of the 3 for Osborne turn into touchdowns for Lakeside. They'll go for 2. Handoff to Bo Domini, running right side, and Bo is in. Just did get in. DeMars made the tackle, but Bo able to lean forward and just get the ball across the goal line and in for the 2-point conversion. First 2-point conversion converted by either team tonight. 6:39 to go, second quarter. It's Lakeside 20, Osborne 12. This is high school football on KD Country 94, KDNS Downs Beloit, Kansas, and on the web, kdcountry94.com. Welcome back to Knights once again with a squib kick, and it went off the shoulder pad of Schellinger up front on the front line of the kick return team for Osborne. It ricocheted off a couple of players for the Bulldogs, and Lakeside able to get on it. It was Trevor Winkle with the recovery, the second time he's recovered one. And so now Lakeside gets the ball back yet again at the Osborne 34. That's 4 fumbles, 4 lost fumbles for Osborne, 2 on the squib kick right up the middle. And I guarantee you, Lakeside has another kickoff. They're going to do the exact same thing until Osborne can cover it. First down and 10 for Lakeside at the Osborne 34. Rankin's going to go deep. He's going right sideline. Shoemaker makes the catch. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown, Lakeside. Alex Rankin with a perfect strike to Shoemaker on the fly pattern down the right side for the quick 6 points.
Coach Critchen's going to like the way that looks. He's going to like it even better when he watches it on film, because not only did the offensive line do a great job of holding up the blitz coming from the outside linebacker position for the Bulldogs, but a perfect strike thrown by Rankin down the sideline to Shoemaker, and he trotted into the end zone. Right in stride, excellent play.
Well, that's 20 of the 26 points for Lakeside coming due to Osborne turnovers. They go for 2. Thomas running left, trying to bulldoze his way in, but denied. Good defense there by Pruder. Also in on the stop was DeMars, and also for Osborne, Braden Schultz. But Lakeside, they take advantage of the muff on the squib kick. The very first play, they take the deep shot down the field. They connect. Shoemaker with his second touchdown reception of the night from Rankin. It's Lakeside 26, Osborne 12, 6:28 to play. First half back after this. That's 20 points off turnovers. And Osborne has 6
about 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, I could say it's been quick.
I just was looking at
Osborne didn't run any offensive plays, but 2 fumbles. The last 2 plays have been fumbles, and then you got the sprinkled in the fumbles on the kick return. It's been a long time since they've had a possession, a true possession. Right?
It was 12, 10-minute mark.
Yeah. Isn't that something? It's crazy, man. I'll turn out just a little bit there. There we go. Okay. Sometimes it slides and slips. They're going to squib it. Welcome back. No surprise, Lakeside trying to squib kick again. This time it bounces in the arms of Jacob DeMars, who corrals it and able to take it back to midfield at the 40. Of course, 8-man football. Midfield is the 40. It's an 80-yard field. And so now Osborne, it's been a long time, Chad, since Osborne's really put together any kind of a possession, because their last 2 offensive snaps have been fumbles, and the prior 2 kickoffs by Lakeside have been muffed kick returns up front on special teams for Osborne. So they finally have a chance to maybe run something. And the handoff goes right up the middle. Jacob DeMars in at fullback, and Jacob able to pick up 7 to the 33-yard line. Making the tackle is Bo Domney in the secondary for Lakeside.
Connor Storr helping out on the tackle on that play. And yeah, that's just the 3rd offensive play the Bulldogs have ran in the second quarter, and we're halfway through it.
Wow. Exactly halfway through now. 6 minutes and ticking. First half, 26-12 in favor of Lakeside. They have scored 20 points off Bulldog turnovers. Power formation, out of the eye. It goes to DeMars again. Flag on the play, thrown by Mike Gingler. A gain of a couple for DeMars, short of a first down at the 31. But this could be an area of holding or maybe even a face mask.
I think we're going to have a face mask, yes.
Face mask on the Knights. That is their 4th, actually 5th penalty of the night. And that will give Osborne a first down. DeMars able to pick up 2 on the carry. Then you add the penalty yardage, a 5-yard variety on the face mask. Osborne with just 1 penalty. Lakeside 5 penalties for 30 yards. So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Moving left to right on your radio dial. 26-12 in favor of Lakeside. Osborne with 4 lost fumbles in the first half. They run the counter to Scher, and Scher breaks the tackle, and he's gone. The 20, the 10, touchdown.
Well, Scher didn't have to do a whole lot as far as using that breakaway speed on that play. The Knights, 3 guys had hands on him within the first 5 yards of that run and just couldn't corral him. And now Scher has closed the gap.
Damon Scher, 27-yard touchdown scamper. Well, Lakeside, everybody kind of up. There's nobody back in the secondary, and once Scher was able to break those first initial tackles, there was nothing but daylight ahead of him. So 26-18. Boy, did the Bulldogs need that. A quick score. Now they'll go for 2 out of the eye. Scher the deep back. DeMars is the fullback. They hand it off to DeMars, and DeMars is stopped. Good defensive play there. It looked like he might get in, but Lakeside able to stop. Making the stop for Lakeside was Taylor Clausen, the junior, as Lakeside able to deny Osborne the 2-point try. So Osborne 0 for 3 on 2-point tries, but they're able to score quickly and cut the gap to 8. 5:25 to play. Second quarter, it's Lakeside 26, Osborne 18. Well, that was what the doctor ordered, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what they needed.
Sure, 3 carries, 60 yards. 2 touchdowns.
On 3?
Yeah, first carry is -5. Since then, 65 yards. Pretty efficient. Wade Gerster and Chad Halleck back with you in Osborne. Approaching the top of the hour, you're listening to high school football, KD Country 94. KDNS, Downs, Beloit, Kansas, and on the World Wide Web, KDCountry94.com. Well, the Bulldogs didn't take them too long. How many plays was it that they were able to score?
3 on that drive.
3 plays. They go 40 yards, and a touchdown run by Damon Scher. Damon Scher, we know he's a playmaker. We talked about it in the Football Express earlier tonight. If he can stay healthy, well, he is a huge weapon for this Bulldog team. Here's a kickoff, and it goes in the end zone. As unable to corral it on the fly was Alec Sons, 165-pound senior, so it'll be a touchback. And this also to note is that in 8-man football, touchback means to the 15, not to the 20, 15 in 8-man football. So Lakeside, who's had excellent field position really almost the entire night, especially in the second quarter due to some miscues by Osborne, both in special teams and offensively. For one of the few times tonight, the Knights will start deep in their own territory at their own 15. Keegan Highland, the junior, to snap it. He's the center. The guards, Alex Kark and also Jesse Bliss. Storr and Shoemaker, the ends. Here's the give. It goes to Co Weiss. He's been a workhorse tonight. and he's able to spin his way past the 16 to the 17. It's a gain of a couple. DeMars making the stop yet again for Osborne.
Since that first series, the Bulldogs actually have done a really good job of plugging up that middle and not allowing the Knights with their shifty tailbacks to make any plays up the middle. That first series, Lakeside kind of 1, 2, 3 up the middle they went, and had a little more trouble running between the guards on these successive series.
2nd and 8, Rinkin right up the middle, able to pick up 4 to the 26. Schultz making the tackle. Defensive lineman along with DeMars again, and assisted by Webb. That's been one of the best plays for Lakeside. You just mentioned it, Chad. The Knights haven't really had a ton of success running it up the middle. They've had more success running it wide, although some of the biggest plays has been simply Rinkin keeping it right up the middle as if it's a quarterback sneak. And that means the offensive line is getting off the ball, and that was a concern coming in, and I think Lakeside's offensive line has played very well. 3rd down and 4 at the 26 for the Knights in their own territory, moving right to left in the home white uniforms. Coming in motion and getting the call is Weiss, and nothing doing. Boy, the Bulldogs read that all the way. Making the tackle for Osborne was Stephen Mick. It's a gain of 1.
Excellent pursuit by the defensive backfield for the Bulldogs. DeMars was in on that play again, been calling his name a lot on the defensive side of the ball. He does an excellent job of pursuing laterally, side to side, as those plays are coming around the edges.
So 3:50 to play, second quarter, 4th down and 4. Timeout called by Osborne. That is their second of the game. They have 1 left. Lakeside burned 2 on back-to-back timeouts when they were faced with a 4th down. So that gives Coach Christians a chance to see what it works up here. Obviously, you would think they would punt deep in their own territory at their own 21-yard line. Rock Hills leading St. John's Tipton 44-0 in the second quarter, and that is up in Mankato. That's our game of the week on Z96.3. Other games tonight: Frankfort at Southern Cloud, Pike Valley at Hanover, Beloit at Concordia, Clay Center at Ellsworth, Sacred Heart at Minneapolis, Republic County at Washington County, Russell on the road at Southeast Saline, Smith Center hosting Atwood, Norton at Ellis, Plainville at Phillipsburg, Stockton at Palco, Trigo at Nest City. Sylvan Lucas, they have combined the former football team this year. They're at Natoma. Lincoln at Tesket, Chase at Wilson. Hill City on the road at Thunder Ridge. That should be a good one tonight in Kensington. Wheatland Grinnell at Logan, and Weskin is at Northern Valley. And now it is over. 46-0. Rock Hills wins it due to the point rule at halftime over St. John's Tipton. 46-0 the final. 4th and 4. Weiss in punt formation. Gets the snap. He's going to kick it away. Oh, boy. Hits it a mile high, but not very far. Then it takes a backwards bounce all the way back near the 30 of Lakeside. That'll go down as about a 9-yard punt for Co Weiss. And Osborne didn't rush the punter. They were setting up the return, Chad, and that worked out well. And Weiss hit it a mile high, but didn't go very far at all. It's a 10-yard punt officially, and Osborne will start at the Lakeside 32.
Well, I think if you asked Coach Colin Reiner at the beginning of the game, if you told him that they'd have lost 4 fumbles and had the ball with 3:40 to go before halftime, only down by 6, he said, I'd take it.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt about it. 26-18 Lakeside. The Bulldogs could tie the game on this drive and with the 2-pointer. Here's the pitch to Schur, and Schur can't get out of the arm tackle of Bo Dominic. Boy, Bo, right there kind of on an island, able to wrap up Schur, and then waited for some teammates to come in and finish him off. Also assisting on the play, Tracy Darnell. But Schur, you got to be really, really good at wrapping him up. And if you can't bring him down by yourself, you at least got to hang on and slow him down.
He did a really good job, but even though it was so close to the line of scrimmage, it really was an open field tackle that he made, and Schur was just a little bit hesitant on that. I think if he'd kept the ball the direction he's going toward the middle, he made a decision at the last minute to cut it out to the left and allowed Co to come in and make that play. 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs at the Lakeside 31. 2 tight ends out of the I formation. DeMars the fullback. Play action, rolling right. Slothour has a man open. It is Mick, and Stephen Mick is down at the 1. That's a good call. Osborne fans saying that they thought it was a touchdown, but Jeff Zimmer all over it as Mick's knee was down and the ball hit even short of the goal line, then bounced into the end zone. So a nice play there. It's a gain of 30 to Mick. Boy, nice play call by the Bulldogs. Excellent play call. Really caught Lakeside off guard, and the safeties cheated up on that play action, allowed the receiver to get back, and that was a good call. He was down and hit the ball on the ground just inside the 1, and it rolled on into the end zone. He was able to recover it.
1st and goal at the 1. A handoff to DeMars, the fullback, and he is in. for the Bulldog touchdown. And we're sitting right here on the Osborne side. That's why you hear the crowd exuberant after that touchdown drive. It didn't take the Bulldogs very long that time either to score. And so, as Chad mentioned, despite 4 lost fumbles and giving up 20 points off turnovers, the Bulldogs now have a chance to tie the game with a 2-point conversion. That's pretty amazing.
It really is remarkable because you find yourself down in the turnover battle by that big of an amount. You don't expect to be close on the scoreboard.
Chance to tie here out of the eye. This is Slothour. He keeps it, trying to get around the corner. Held up by Jacob Brush, and then Miles Thomas comes in along with Brandon Smith and Bo Domney to finish him off. Also there is Tracy Darnell. So the 2-point conversion fails. And Osborne scored 4 touchdowns, but they are 0 for 4 on the 2-point tries. 26-24, Lakeside clinging to a 2-point lead. Still 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go before halftime. Back after this. This is high school football, Katy Country 94.
It's a pretty good game to be at tonight, Chad.
I think so.
I'll turn that back up in a minute. I turn that main feed down to the headphones that allows me to hear the Lakeside with the lead, and they get the football on the kickoff. It is taken by Bo Dominic. He comes around the near side, gets away from one tackler, sheds a second, still on his feet, runs over a third. Bo Dominic might be short in stature, but big on heart. Past the 30 to the 32, a nice return by Bo Dominic, finally brought down by Michael Swellinger. And so Lakeside decent field position at their own 32, moving right to left, leading 26-24. One thing about 8-man football, Chad, is that it may sound weird to say, there's an ebb and a flow, but it's usually more one-sided for a stretch. Then the momentum quickly shifts. And we've seen that a few times tonight. Lakeside, the early momentum. Then Osborne, the momentum. Then suddenly all the turnovers by Osborne. Lakeside, all the momentum. Now suddenly Osborne's right back in it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, in the shotgun. This is Rinkin. He keeps it. He's buried by Spears after a gain of a couple. Slothour assisting. Alex Rinkin has done a nice job tonight. He does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes. He has a touchdown run. He's rushed for 37 yards.
Yeah, Lakeside showing a little bit different look that time with Rinkin back in the shotgun and the play action, fake the handoff going to the outside. You see, especially in the first couple of games of the season, a lot of these coaches, they don't want to show everything that they have, but they want to try everything if they can get away with it.
Excellent point. Co Weiss in the backfield, split backfield along with Miles Thomas. Second and 8. Rinkin has time. He throws, fires it, and it is incomplete. Good coverage there. Sure and Slothour double teaming on Storr. Not a big window to throw it in, although Rinkin tried to right foot and gun it in there, but incomplete.
Give Sure a lot of credit on that play. Rinkin made a good hard throw, threw it low to the ground, about the place where only his receiver could get it. Sure did a good job of being patient right there on his back and waiting till just the last second to hop over and knock that ball away. A lot of times you'll see that one end up being a pass interference call because that defensive back won't have the patience to sit there on the backside of that receiver and wait till the last second for the ball to get there before they lunge over to make that play.
3rd down and 8 for the Knights. Minute 37 to play, first half. Oh, there's some early movement. They got it. Weiss moved early. Here's Rinkin. He keeps it running right. And Alex right at the marker, past the 40 to the Osborne 38. So it's a gain of 8, but this one will be wiped out. Osborne will go ahead and accept this penalty as Co Weiss took off a bit early in the backfield.
And that is the call down on the field, and it will back the Knights up with a minute 29 left to go to try to...
There's the motion call by Jayek. Lakeside, they have had 6 penalties tonight for 35 yards. Osborne just 1 penalty I have down for 5 yards, but Osborne 4 lost fumbles. Lakeside with the interception that turned into 6 points for Osborne. So turnovers, Osborne -3. but yet only down by 2 on the scoreboard.
Amazing.
I think Coach Reiner, I think I know what the halftime speech will be. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Minute 12 and ticking in the first half. Lakeside here wants to milk a little bit of clock. Osborne has one timeout to work with here. Bulldog fans chanting defense. Rinkin's going to throw. He dumps it off. A screen, and Thomas drops it. Well, Miles looked ahead before he had it. That happens to a lot of players at every level. He had a convoy in front, and probably would have gained a first down, if not more, but Miles just lost the concentration there, an incomplete pass. That was a perfect play call. It wasn't executed. It was a safe one, too. Safe play call there on 3rd and long. You're not taking too big of a chance by dumping that out on a screen.
A classic case. You see it a lot. You see it in basketball, too, when a guy, he's so wide open, he doesn't know for sure what to do, gets a little bit ahead of himself, started to turn upfield and try to run with the ball before it actually got to his hands.
An incomplete pass stops the clock as well. Weiss fumbles it for a moment on the snap, but gets it away. Good punt this time by Coe. Then it takes a backwards bounce, I should say, and it is covered there by Jesse Bliss for Lakeside. So the Bulldogs have time, 53.2 on the clock. One timeout at their disposal. They have the ball at their own 24-yard line. Rock Hills knocking off St. John's Tipton tonight. Game called to the point rule at halftime up in Mankato, 46-0 the final. Next action for these teams, you want to look ahead. Lakeside at home against Logan. And Osborne will be on the road at Rock Hills. That could be a real good game, and we'll have that one for you right here on KD Country 94 as Chad and Dusty will have the call.
Spread.
4 wide out. Yeah, spread attack. Here's Sloth there. He's going to keep it. Tracy Darnell wraps him up along with Miles Thomas. And a gain of about 4 for Ethan Slothauer.
Now, it's not very often in an 8-man game that you see a team go 4 wide, but that's exactly what Osborne did on that play.
And the Bulldogs burn their final time out of the first half. 26-24 Lakeside, back after this. Lincoln read that all the time last 2 years.
Really?
Spread and 8-man.
Our coach must have called 2 timeouts right there beginning of the second half and was out there with the officials trying to convince them that it wasn't a legal formation. They had one guy off here and 2 guys here, and they were spread out all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Nobody was sure what was going on. He was like, I guess we'll just play zone.
Welcome back. 40 seconds to play before halftime. Osborne second down and 6. Slothauer swings it out left side. Incomplete. He one hops. The intended target, DeMar, is on the far side at the 33. Ethan Slothauer throwing the football 1 for 3 for 30 yards tonight. But that 30-yard pass to Mick set up the 1-yard plunge by Jacob DeMars to pull Osborne within a deuce at 26-24. So now 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs at their own 29-yard line. Osborne 3-6 a year ago in 11-man football per season in 8-man. Lakeside last year 4-5. Out of the spread, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Slothauer throws. It is caught. Caught by Dylan Spears. Good hands by Spears. That'll stop the clock. They'll move the chains. Gain on the play of 20 to Dylan Spears, and now Osborne has to hurry with no timeouts.
Spears made a nice catch there on the play. Osborne hurrying up to the line. They've got about 26 seconds here.
Slothauer in the gun. Swings it left side. It's caught by DeMars. DeMars needs to get out of bounds. He gets a first down, and he does get out of bounds at the 19-yard line, and that's a gain of 12.
Well, DeMar's first instinct on that was to cut that back to the middle of the field, and he thought better of it. Managed to get out of bounds and stop the clock just under 20 seconds at 19.3, and now give Osborne an opportunity to huddle up, call a play, and come up to the line and see if they can make something happen.
I'll be honest.
And take the lead going into halftime.
I'm sorry, Chad, but I'll be honest. We covered Osborne a couple times last year in 11-man. They didn't run the spread. I don't recall one time. So Lakeside, not knowing if they'll run it this year, especially going to 8-man, and it's surprised them, I think. Here's Slothauer. Comes a blitz. Slothauer gets it away, and it is intercepted. Did he get it cleanly?
I believe he did.
The officials say
Yes,
yes,
they're
it is
calling
interception. Miles Thomas with the interception. Slaughter was just trying to get rid of it so he didn't take a big loss on the sack. That turnover really probably won't hurt Osborne too much other than it killed the drive. But if Slaughter takes a sack there, they don't get another playoff anyway. So, it ends up being an interception, Chad, but he had to do something.
Yeah, he had to do something. He had to do it in a big-time hurry because he had no time to make a play. He got the ball just about the time that the two blitzing linebackers got through to him, and he was backpedaling, trying to make something happen. Threw the ball short into the flat and ended up being picked off.
14 seconds left. The end around to Connor Store. Store to the far side. Finally wrestled to the turf. He's able to pick up 7, 6.2 on the clock. Lakeside has one timeout, and it looks like they will go ahead and use it. So, it's been an exciting first half. Usually in 8-man football you have a lot of points. Sometimes it's one-sided, but here we're almost even. 26-24 Lakeside with the lead.
It's been a good one to watch so far. Like I said before, I hate to beat a dead horse, but if you're Colin Reiner, you've got to be really excited to be going into halftime here, only down 2 with the upside-down turnover situation. We've got 5 turnovers, I believe, now for the Bulldogs in the first half to go against the 1 interception for Lakeside. But 6.2, there's not a whole lot of options here this far away for Lakeside. They've got about 65 yards, or I'm sorry, about 60 yards to go. If I could do a little bit of math here, it would all be in a lot better shape. And it'd be interesting to see what Coach Christians comes up here, because he is known as a good play caller. You never know what he may have to pull out here, but I always say with this amount of time left in this time, you might as well take a shot.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that can happen is that you're no worse off than you were when you started. So here we go.
Rankin back to throw. Play action. He's going deep. Right side for Shoemaker. Intercepted. Picked off by Stephen Mick, and then he is upended by the shoelaces. Nice tackle in the open field by Connor Store. 11 tackling number 11. That's the end of the first half. So that'll go down as interception for Rankin. Really kind of immaterial. He took a shot. You throw it up to your big, tall guy. That's Connor Shoemaker, 6'5". See if he can go up and get it. Osborne was expecting that as well. And so they went ahead. Osborne did, and playing some prevent defense, able to pick off the pass. So that ends a very exciting first half. 26-24 Lakeside. Stay tuned for our halftime show coming up after this break. You're listening to High School Football on KD Country 94 and on the World Wide Web, KDCountry94.com. The Knights leading the Bulldogs at intermission 26-24.
Now has never been a best come true at Beloit Auto and Truck Plaza, serving you for 15 years in Highway 12. At Beloit Auto Truck Plaza.com.
And welcome back. Wade Gerster, Chad Halleck with you. The captain's going to midfield, getting set for the second half. Lakeside leading 26-24. And like we said, don't forget high school football again next Friday. Osborne at Rock Hills on KD Country 94. And Ellsworth is at Beloit on Z96.3. We do have some scores to pass along to you. Thanks to our sports director, Dusty Dinas, texting these to me. Of course, Rock Hills shutting out St. John's Tipton. Game called at half due to the point rule, 46-0. Beloit Concordia tied up in that rivalry. First time they're playing since 2005, much like Osborne Lakeside on the gridiron. That's a 6-6 tie. Beloit Concordia in Concordia tonight at halftime. Sylvan Lucas leading 14-0 at halftime over Natoma. Sacred Heart leading at halftime over Minneapolis 14-6. Tonight's a very young team, but a lot of talent in those underclassmen. And Clifton Clyde 16-0 at halftime over Lynn. So those are the scores we have here at halftime. It is 26-24 in favor of Lakeside. So what should we look for here in the second half, Chad? We were talking just a little bit ago off here. We could see maybe a little bit more of the spread perhaps from Osborne.
I think that's real possible. They got a couple of nice games out of it and had a couple other opportunities that they missed on. But going back to keys to start the game, I think Osborne for their first game here in this 8-man style of play have managed to do a pretty good job. They've looked pretty good. They've looked smooth. They've looked fluid. It's just a matter of trying to find a way to keep from putting the ball on the ground. But they look like they're doing a good job, and Lakeside has done a good job. Their concerns that Coach Christians had with the offensive line really hasn't seemed to be too much of an issue so far.
Here's the kickoff, and able to fall on top of it at the 20-yard line is Dylan Spears, who missed most of last season to nerve damage injury in his arm. They're glad to have him back. So the Bulldogs get the ball first to start the second half, a chance to retake the lead. They led for a short period of time, 12-6. Then all the turnovers came. Osborne 5 turnovers in the contest in the first half, an interception and 4 fumbles, 2 on the exchange between Slothauer and Pruder on a quarterback read situation. The other 2 simply not able to handle the squib kick on the front line of their special teams unit, and Lakeside pounced on it both times, and Lakeside has scored 20 points off those 5 Osborne turnovers. Here's the give right up the middle. Jacob DeMars with a quick burst of speed and power. Past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 6.
DeMars is a kid that's got a little bit of height, and he doesn't look real big from up here where we're standing, but he runs with a lot of power. He's a downhill runner, and you could really see it on that play. He blew right through the line and made a nice gain.
Second down and 4 for the Bulldogs, trailing by 2, just underway third quarter. They're in the home maroon uniforms, gold trim, and the white numerals and lettering. The give to DeMars again, and nothing doing this time. The Knights, good penetration along the defensive line. Noah Miller has played well tonight. Also there, Miles Thomas to make the tackle, assisted by Tracy Darnell. No gain on the play.
Yeah, you're right, Wade. That got excellent penetration on the right side of the defensive line for the Knights. Stood him up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, bringing up a third down for the Bulldogs.
Third, and we'll call it a long 3, so maybe a gain of half a yard, but that was it. Power formation, 2 tight ends out of the eye. Here's the pitch, near side, now cutting back, nowhere to go. Damon Scher didn't have any running room that time. He's had 2 long touchdown runs tonight, but Noah Miller there also helping out on the play. Tracy Darnell, who is an all-league performance defensive end a year ago, and he should only get better. So the Knights defense able to come up with a stand on the first possession of the second half for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, great execution defensively for Lakeside on the last 2 plays. Doing a good job of pursuit. Guys flying to the ball and making plays. That one for a loss.
So the Bulldogs to punt. They haven't punted very much because they've scored, or they've had, of course, the turnovers. Here is the punt by DeMars. Nice high kick coming up ahead, and now deciding to let it bounce is Miles Thomas. It rolls inside the 15 down to the 13, and that's where the Knights will begin. So Lakeside and Osborne in a tight one here, 26 to 24. Let's reset the lineup for you. For Lakeside, Connor Storer, Connor Shoemaker the ends, Jesse Bliss and Alex Clark the guards. Keegan Highland the center, Miles Thomas, Co Weiss in the backfield, Alex Rinkin the quarterback. Osborne defense, Dylan Spears, Ben Webb, Tyler Emerson, Braden Schultz along the front. And the secondary is Justin Pruder, Ethan Slothauer at Stephen Mick. Linebacker Jacob DeMars. First and 10 for Lakeside at their own 13. Some running room for Miles Thomas, who didn't have much of that in the first half. He picks up 5 to the 18. Jacob DeMars, Damon Scher, and Slothauer with the tackle. Boy, DeMars had a great game defensively. He's had a ton of tackles.
Yeah, we've been calling his name a lot. He seems to be at or near the ball on just about every play from the defensive side of things. Number 64, Alex Clark, with a nice block from his left guard position on that last play to open up a hole and a little bit of running room.
Second and 4, 9:35 to play, third quarter. Knights by 2. Handoff to Thomas. Running room again, right up the middle. Tackle by Schultz and Slothauer, but not before Thomas picks up a first down as he able to move the ball to the 24, close to the 25.
Mentioned to you, I think off the air sometime during that first half, Wade, about how Lakeside was pretty much up the middle and to the right, up the middle and to the right, and they're on consecutive plays now. They've gone over the left-hand side and managed to pick up a few yards. Just makes you wonder why maybe they didn't try that earlier in the game, and then with the success now on 3 consecutive plays.
First down and 10, counter play to Co Weiss, running hard as always, able to burrow his way to the 30. It's a gain of 5 for Co, who has 15 carries for 57 yards this evening.
Stephen Mick, number 11 for the Bulldogs, comes in, makes the tackle on that play, bringing up second down and about 5 for the Knights.
26-24 Lakeside. They have the ball at their own 30, moving right to left in the road white uniforms with the black pants. And there's running room for Thomas. The ball stripped. It's loose. And I think Thomas is able to pounce on it again. Boy, quick reflexes by Thomas to get back on that football. It was ripped out cleanly by the Bulldogs. But Miles Thomas able to jump back on top of it. So after all of that excitement and pizzazz, no gain on the play.
Looks like Ben Webb on that play, number 77 for the Bulldogs, reached in, ripped that ball away. Fortunate to be able to backtrack as it hit the ground and bounced back about 2 yards. He was real fortunate to be able to backtrack, good heads up, heady instinctive play to get back and cover that up and retain possession for the Knights.
3rd and 5 for Lakeside. One receiver wide left. That is Storer. And the give right up the middle, a gain of 4 for the Knights. With the carry, it was actually no give. It was Rinkin on the keeper. He's had a lot of success with that. And now Rinkin goes to the far sideline to talk to head coach Kurt Christian, see what they want to run. Looks like they'll go for it on 4th and 1. Taylor Clausen comes in the ball game, number 82 for Lakeside.
And Rankin with the keep there. We've seen that about a half dozen times this game with a pretty fair amount of success all in all. I would guess that he's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 24, 25 yards on 4 or 5 maybe carries with just that quick draw right back up the middle, quarterback keep. See what they do here on 4th and short.
Could see it again right here on 4th and 1. Yep, they do keep it. Osborne's ready for it. And Rinkin was stopped initially, but his teammate from behind, it might have been Weiss or maybe Thomas, able to push him like Reggie Bush did for Matt Leinert in Notre Dame on one particular year. And that's exactly what Lakeside did, and that able the quarterback Rinkin to get the first down.
I was just wondering there how I could get Weiss to rhyme with push, and you beat me to the Reggie Bush reference, the legal play from the USC Notre Dame game about 3 years ago.
Well, and then was Charlie Weiss the head coach? Weiss, we're talking Weiss and Weiss then, aren't we? First down and 10. Here is the handoff on the end around the Store, and Store tackled by, guess who? Number 14, Jacob DeMars. He has to have at least a dozen tackles. Ben Webb assisting on the play. Store able to pick up 3, maybe 4.
Store actually doing a pretty fair job on that play to pick up those 3 or 4 yards. With the speed that Osborne has in the defensive secondary, they were able to close in on that pretty quick, but he was able to turn the corner and get right back up the middle of the field. A lot of times those ends on those end arounds like that will have a tendency to try to take that in the backfield all the way to the far sideline, but he made a good decision, turned it upfield quickly, and turned what might have been no gain into a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 at the 38. There's some movement, flag thrown, and here's Miles Thomas with the run. He picks up about 15, squirting into the defensive secondary. That's a first down, but it'll be coming back. Motion by Lakeside. That is their 7th penalty of their night, the first of the second half, and the races the 15-yard gain.
There's not very many things I don't imagine that would frustrate a coach standing on the sideline more to see a play that came off like that the motion that they're going to get penalized for here really didn't give them an advantage. It's just the rule's the rule, and so as the coach, you hate to see that 12, 14, 15-yard gain that you know has got to come back.
So 2nd down and 12 after the penalty. Knights leading 26-24, 6:18 and ticking, 3rd quarter. Wade Gerster and Chad Halleck with you. The season opener across the state of Kansas on a beautiful, gorgeous Friday night here in Osborne County in Osborne, Kansas.
And
here's Rinkin to throw. He fires that one. Oh, well off the mark. Picked off. Intercepted by Stephen Mick, and Mick brings it back to the Lakeside 28-yard line. Well, that was the second time we've seen Rinkin throw the ball well off the target, and really it was 5 yards off target. I don't know if there's miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback or what.
Rankin actually got hit on the arm on that play, and I believe that his blocker that was Weiss was pushed back into him from the opposite side, and there was definitely some contact made with the shoulder pad right into his elbow, and that came out like a duck, and that's the reason why.
I'm going to say, Rinkin throws the ball pretty well. We've seen him with a couple of strikes. That looked really uncharacteristic. That would explain why if he was hit or pushed when he threw the ball.
One of those really wasn't his fault.
Yep, and here's DeMars, and DeMars running hard behind his offensive line, able to drag a couple Lakeside Knights on his back inside the 25 down to the 23. That's a gain of about 6 for Jacob DeMars.
DeMars again running strong with the ball. We've seen what he can do on the defensive side, coming up making a lot of plays, a good solid tackler, but he's also very strong running with the football. You always hear the term of a guy that runs downhill, and this is my first opportunity to see him play, but he definitely is a downhill runner.
Coach Reiner said he may be their best all-around player, and we've seen it. He's been good running the football, he blocks well, and he's been terrific on defense. 2nd down and a long 4. Here is Slothauer, the throw. He's pressured, and it is caught by Spears. What a throw by Slothauer. Crossing pattern to Spears, tackled by Brandon Smith, all the way down at the 8-yard line.
A good throw by Slothauer, and an even better catch by Dylan Spears. Full extension with both hands as he was running toward the sideline on a crossing route. Snatched it out and picked up a few yards after the catch. Will bring up 1st and goal from about the 8 for the Bulldogs.
Boy, Dylan Spears, does he have stickum on those hands?
He's
those are
got
2 great grabs tonight.
2 excellent catches.
So first down and goal, as Chad said, at the 8-yard line out of the I formation. DeMar's the lead back. Pruder on the sideline. Sure is the tailback. He gets the call. He bounces at the far side. No containment. He's in for 6. Damon Sure gives Osborne the lead, 30-26 on an 8-yard touchdown run for Sure. That is his 3rd touchdown jaunt of the night.
Damon Sure making a real quick, hard cut to the outside. Lakeside. Nobody out there on the outside to contain, and you always remember your defensive coach yelling, "Don't get hooked, don't get hooked, don't get hooked," and that's exactly what happened to Lakeside on that play. But I noticed at the end of that play, Sure seems to be limping a little bit. He did have a muscle pull, and he seemed to be a little bit gimpy after that run. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how he is and if he's able to go full speed the rest of the game.
He's still out there at the I formation, 2-point try. Play action. Miles Thomas drops Slothauer all the way back to the 15. Ethan Slothauer had no chance to get that pass unloaded to even try to get the 2-point try. So once again, Osborne has five touchdowns tonight, but they are 0 for 5 on the 2-point tries, and that usually catches up with you in a tight game, especially in 8-man football. But the Bulldogs have kind of worked against the norm tonight. They're -3 in the turnover category, but somehow with 4:41 to play, 3rd quarter, Osborne leads Lakeside 30-26. Back after this.
Totally unblocked.
Oh, yeah.
Guy whiffed.
Play a shot out of a cannon. You look pretty fast when nobody blocks you.
Yeah.
You look pretty impressive when
It
nobody
do
blocks
make
you.
a difference.
Yeah.
Looks like he's down there stretching calves out.
I saw Schultz over here earlier. It looked like he was maybe cramping.
Well, who was the kid that they walked off with the neck brace here earlier?
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I think it was 27. I never saw him play.
I don't think he played.
No, maybe it was. I don't know who it was, but somebody did.
Each of our members know how much we appreciate your patronage and loyalty. We look forward to continuing to serve your needs. All of our locations today at Beloit, Mankato, or Osborne.
Welcome back. We've got a good one. We thought it could be close, pretty competitive, and it hasn't disappointed. 30-26 Osborne, 4:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. Nice drive put together by Osborne. How many plays, how many yards, Chad?
3 plays, 32 yards, capped off by an 8-yard run by Sure.
And here's a kickoff, goes out of bounds on the near side. Mike Gingler throws the flag out of bounds at the 15. So Lakeside has all the options in the world, of course. They could make them re-kick, and we'll see if they do that. I would think they probably would, because you've got Bo Domney and others in the return game, and actually Alex Sons is out there returning, number 33, a senior. We've seen in the past Miles Thomas or Co Weiss returning kicks back there, but instead it's Sons and Domney, and they will take the penalty and move them back the 5 yards of the 25, and Slothauer will kick it again.
Well, it is such a tough call in the 8-man game with the distance of the field and a little bit of difference in the rules. And it's great field position taking it out of bounds, but when you've got a couple guys back there that are liable at any opportunity to break one, you want to give them that chance. Now they come with the squib.
Here's the squib along the far left hash mark. It is taken by, I believe that was Trevor Winkle, the sophomore. Picked it up, and a nice return back near midfield. So Lakeside, once again, will have good field position. Well, we've seen both teams utilize that, Chad, and that is they're not kicking it deep very often. They want to keep it out of the hands of the playmakers in the return game.
No, we thought that special teams would really play a factor in this game coming in with the return capabilities on both teams and the speed in that with those returners. And they've pretty well nullified that. The only major thing we've seen out of the kicking game is the turnover on the fumble off the squib by the Bulldogs in the 2nd quarter.
Lakeside 1st and 10 directly at midfield at the O in the middle of this Osborne Bulldog football field. Miles Thomas to carry. He gets 5 to the Bulldog 35-yard line. Sure and DeMars in on the stop.
Lakeside finding some room to run on the left side after not really going that direction much to speak of in the first half. They're chewing up yardage in pretty good chunks now, doing a good job on the left side of that offensive line, opening up those holes and picking up those secondary blockers to get 4, 5, and 6 yard gains instead of 2 and 3.
Store the end on the left side, Shoemaker the end on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Split backfield with Domini and Thomas. Thomas gets the call. He runs left, running hard, carries a defender about 6 yards all the way down inside the 20 to the 19. He gave Dylan Spears a ride on his back, And Miles Thomas with a nice gain on the play all the way down to the 19. That's a gain of 16 for Thomas, who in the first half had just 11 yards rushing, has 32 in the third quarter.
Excellent, strong run there by Miles. Got some room to run on the left-hand side. Like you said, drug a guy literally 6 or 7 yards.
So first down and 10 for Lakeside, trying to respond, down by 4. They have it at the Osborne 20. Handoff. Oh, what a nice move to avoid the first tackler. Nice shake and bake move, hesitation stutter there by Thomas, and he's able to pick up 4 to the 15.
Thomas showing a nice combination of power and quickness and agility on the last 2 plays. After dragging the guy, he makes a great move in the backfield to shuck a tackler and pick up a few yards on what very easily could have been a loss of a yard.
Alex Rinkin usually going over the sidelines, at least quite often, not every single play, but many times over Kirk Christians to get the play call. Miles Thomas has, it looks like, an equipment problem perhaps, so he's going to leave the game, and coming in is Trevor Winkle. If you're just tuning in, Osborne leads 30 to 26. Lakeside led 26 to 12. Osborne with 18 unanswered points. Osborne had 4 lost fumbles in the second quarter alone. They have 5 turnovers. Lakeside with 2 turnovers. Lakeside 20 points off the Osborne turnovers, and yet Lakeside still trails by 4, but a chance to retake the lead. They have 2nd and 4 at the Osborne 15. Rinkin keeping it right up the middle, and that quarterback keeper, and with the power all the way down to the 5, a gain of 10. Bulldogs finally able to bring down Rinkin, making a stop. Ben Webb along with Spears, and assisting is Schlellinger.
Rankin was something we hadn't seen out of him so far tonight. We've seen him run up the middle several times, but he got about 5 yards upfield and actually put the hit on the defender instead of the other way around, and was able to fight forward for a couple of more yards before being gang tackled by about 2/3 of the Bulldog defense.
Split backfield with Thomas and Dominy. 2 tight end set. 1st and goal at the 5. It goes to Thomas. He's spinning, turning, twisting, fighting for the extra yardage. Forward progress stopped at the 1. So a gain of 4 for Miles Thomas, and Lakeside now with 3 cracks at scoring the touchdown to take the lead. Let's talk about this offensive line for Lakeside. We spoke with Coach Christians earlier in the week, the whole coaching staff. Hey, we got our skill players back. We're comfortable with Rinkin. We think he'll do a good job. But they had to replace 2 graduating guards from last year. They were concerned at the guard spot. And, boy, they have held up very nicely tonight. 2nd down and goal at the 1. It's Rinkin. He lowers his shoulder and his head, and he's in for the touchdown. Able to follow his center, Keegan Highland. And Lakeside retakes the lead 32-30 on the 1-yard plunge by Alex Rinkin, his 2nd touchdown run of the night.
Rinkin doing a good job there, doing what all quarterbacks are taught on that sneak play, is you don't necessarily have to get behind somebody and try to force your way through, but you just look for an opening. If you can get your head and the ball through it, you do it. And that's exactly what he did. He shucked off to the left side of the center and found just enough room to get that ball across the goal line, and an opportunity now to tie the game back, to take a 4-point lead.
32-30 Lakeside. Here's a 2-point try. Play action. Rinkin wide open is Thomas. He makes the catch for the 2-point conversion. Sure with the coverage. He also had Shoemaker in the back of the end zone open as well. He had 2 options, 2 wide open receivers. So Lakeside leads by 4, and you know what the difference is? They've made 2 2-point conversions. Osborne has gone over for the 2-point tries. Lakeside 34, Osborne 30, minute 53 to play third quarter. Back after this. This is high school football on KDNS, Downs Beloit, Kansas.
You throw that to Thomas.
Yes, Thomas.
I saw him and Shoemaker both in there, and I was 7-12, 7-12. It was one of them.
Concordia just went up on Beloit.
Yeah. 8 plays, 46 yards, Rankin. Actually, that was more like a 1-yard run, wasn't it?
This is Jamie at the banner. Buy and try our chicken fried chicken. A breaded, welcome to another creamy gravy. Serve with your fried in a biscuit. The mouth-watering meal that'll leave your taste buds wanting more. Top it off with a piece of homemade pie. Just like Grandma used to make. Come through the drive-thru. On your way to school or work. Our biscuits and gravy are the best around. That's at the Vista Restaurant, corner Bates and Bell, Beloit.
Lakeside with the bouncing kick up the middle, and it is caught by DeMars off a couple of hops. He immediately just hits the deck. No need to take a chance. So Lakeside leading 34-30 on the 1-yard quarterback sneak at the goal line by Alex Rinkin. Concordia leading Beloit now on a touchdown reception by David Strait. 2-point conversion, no good. 8:53 to go in the fourth quarter in Concordia. It's Concordia 12, Beloit 6. And we'll recap the drive summary here in a moment with Chad after this play. Lakeside showing blitz here. Power formation for Osborne out of the eye. And it goes to the lead back in nothing doing at all. Boy, Lakeside snuffing that one out well right at the beginning. DeMars with no gain on the play. Trevor Winkle in on the stop, also assisting there Tracy Darnell and Julian Aramendi. You know, we haven't seen Justin Pruder in a while.
No, I haven't seen him carrying the ball. He had several carries there in the first half. Lakeside here so far in the second half doing a very good job of sniffing these plays out. They seem to be a lot more stout. At least they're having more success from the defensive end, shutting down this running attack from Osborne.
2nd and 10. Slothour play action throws. Has a man open. It's Mick. Beautiful pass. And Mick ran out of room. He makes the catch, but ran out of room, so he couldn't turn upfield. But he catches it out of bounds, but it was in. He got 1 foot in, then went out of bounds at the Lakeside 32-yard line. So a big play there. As we'll figure up the gain on the play, that would be about, 23 yards, we'll say, to Stephen Mick.
Mick did a good job getting separation from the corner on that play, and a good throw by Slothour back across the field. That's a long throw that he had to put some air underneath of it to be able to get it to his man, and did a good job of doing that. And they're in business now about past midfield.
That was a tight spiral. Beautiful pass. 1st and 10. Here's the pitch to Schur. Schur slips, stumbles. His knee was down back a few yards before he actually fell down with his whole body. So Pruder must be banged up. I'm looking here on the near side. I do not see Justin Pruder on the sideline for Osborne. So he went to the hospital. Okay.
I was mentioning a little bit.
Okay. All right.
We had talked a little bit ago that I thought I saw somebody come off that they walked off with a neck brace on earlier, and maybe that was him.
That must have been Justin Pruder. We were wondering earlier. That's why we need the sideline reporter who will fill in all that. 15 seconds to go. 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup.
Remind me to give Erin Andrews a call tomorrow. I'll see if she can come out next week and help us out.
You got her phone number? That's great. I'm impressed that she returned your calls. Here's Slothour. He comes around the near side and stepped out of bounds. Byron Paulin marks him out at the 20. It's a gain of 12. So Slothour showing some agility and escapability, getting out of the pocket, picking up 12 with 1.2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It is 34-30 Lakeside.
Yeah, he kind of took the words out of my mouth on that one. Slothour showing a burst of speed that I guess I hadn't noticed up until this point tonight that he had, but he got outside there, able to turn the ball upfield, and actually did a good job of tiptoeing the sidelines to get an extra 4 or 5 yards out of the end of that run.
Lakeside leading 34-30. The difference, 2 2-point conversions. Bulldogs have it at the Lakeside 20, moving left to right. Last play of the third quarter, out of the I formation. Slothour, little counter to Schur, bounces to the far side, gets around the corner. Schur turns on the Jets, and he's in for a touchdown. You cannot allow him to bounce to the outside. Lakeside got sucked in too far from the outside, got hooked, as Chad would say, and it's a 20-yard touchdown run by Damon Schur.
Damon Schur, almost an identical play to the last touchdown they scored. That was just an 8-yard run. Schur made a good hard cut to the outside. This time he just had a little bit more real estate in front of him to run through. But that burst of speed after he made that cut to the outside is pretty impressive. He is a very fast athlete.
Shoemaker didn't have a chance. Once he got sucked in too far, he couldn't recover, and Schur was able to get around the corner, accelerate, and take the ball into the end zone for the 6 points. So now Osborne faced with the 2-point conversion. They are 0 for 5 in this category, 36-34. That was on the final play of the third quarter. So we have the 2-point try, then we'll have the fourth quarter. I formation. Slothour gives it to DeMars. He's in for the 2-point conversion. So the Bulldogs finally able to convert. The 6th try is the charm, and the Bulldogs now lead 38-34. After the Schur 20-yard touchdown run and the 2-point conversion run in by Jacob DeMars. 38-34, Osborne back in the fourth quarter after this. Should have seen that lady who was like, you don't know that Pruder's out of the game? Should have seen the look that lady was like, she couldn't believe we didn't know that.
Well, I knew he hadn't been out there.
Yeah, but didn't know he went to the hospital. How was I supposed to know that?
What was his number?
Should have called Erin Andrews, see if she was at the hospital. Be cool. If you got her number, you're going to have to share that with her. I like to have her in studio.
I think I lost it.
You think you lost it? Let's see.
Like that guy. Well, let's just call Michael Jordan real quick and see. What
Yeah,
you
just
guys
get him
are
on the
such good.
phone.
Yeah, I think I got another call.
Yeah, yeah.
If you guys are going to call him, I'm just going to hang up
I just
now.
had him, but I dropped him. I didn't know how to answer my call waiting. Darn.
For the 2011 entry. Find out how fast and easy mowing can be with a Country Clip.
It's been a fun game.
Yeah.
Wade Gerster, Chad Halleck back with you. We begin the fourth quarter. Back and forth we go. It's been a great one thus far to start the 2010 Gridiron season. Osborne back in front now, 38-34. Here's the kickoff. Slothauer pumped up. He boots it. Taken at the 3. Here's Trevor Winkle, the sophomore. Taking it to the far side. Gets around the corner. Trevor still inbounds. Finally knocked out at the 30 by the Bulldogs' Andrew Plowman. So Osborne with the 4-point lead, despite turning the ball over 5 times tonight. Lakeside offense, Alex Rinkin back in there at quarterback. Osborne, as we were told, Justin Pruder went to the hospital in the first half. We knew he hadn't played for a while, but had no idea he'd gone to the hospital. So we wish him the best. And so Osborne playing a little bit shorthanded, but DeMars stepped in at fullback and sure has had a great game. First down and 10 at the 29. Here's running room for Miles Thomas. He's at the 40, the 30. Oh, he slips and falls. Boy, Miles could have maybe taken that to the house. He had one man to beat, and I think he fooled himself. He made such a quick little move to try to shake the defender that he lost his footing, but still, nice run by Miles Thomas. It's a pickup of about 23, and that's what we were saying earlier. Wait till Thomas gets in the open field. We know what Scher can do. Well, Thomas can do a lot, too.
Yeah, Thomas showed a nice burst there when he got to the outside and headed up the field. And you have to wonder, as cool as it is, the temperature we had the last few days, you may have a little bit of dew, a little bit of moisture now starting to collect on the field, and maybe a little bit of an issue for traction.
Excellent point. Goes to the fullback here. On the carry, it's Thomas, and nice play once again by Jacob DeMars. It's a gain of 2. Well, if you had to pick a defensive MVP of this game for either team, it's pretty automatic. It's Mr. DeMars.
Yeah, DeMars has done a great job. He's been in or right there sniffing around just about every defensive play that they have had out there. You don't see that all that often in an 8-man game, especially as guys get spread out as much as they do and end up on an island, but he's always around the ball and obviously has a nose for it.
Lakeside with the ball. It goes to Thomas again, the fullback, and Thomas picks up 4 to the 23. So it'll be third down, 10:42 and ticking, fourth quarter. It's Osborne 38, Lakeside 34 in the Battle of Osborne County. Only 12 miles separate the two schools. Both teams have been having some fun banter between one another this week, getting ready for this game. The last time they played football against one another, 11-man football 5 years ago, and this has been a dandy.
It's been an excellent game.
So the Knights with third down, and they called about 6, a short 6 along 5. Lone setback is Thomas. Domney, the wing on the left side. Rinkin, play action, rolls right, has time, now he's going to take off. Alex right up the middle, he dives forward near the 10. Nice decision by Alex Rinkin. He's able to pick up 12 on the play, first down, Lakeside.
That was a great decision by Alex Rankin. He had a receiver open downfield on the right-hand side that had pretty decent coverage on him. He could have tried to force a throw in there, but he had all kinds of room up the middle of the field. The waters kind of parted, so to speak, on that one, and he saw his opportunity and took it and has got Lakeside in business now just outside of the 10.
And they're going to go ahead and pull the first down marker, it looks like, so it will be first and goal, although to me it looks like it's technically outside the 10. Technically, they should be able to get a first down, but they're laying down the chains on the far side. Well, you just let the center move it up about, what, half a foot, a foot or two?
Yeah, and the nose of that ball, if it's right over that line, then they're going to go ahead and drop that marker, and they're going to call it 10.
Makes sense. Timeout on the field. 9:35 to play, fourth quarter. It is Osborne 38, Lakeside 34, but they are threatening. Back after this. Well, what a great way to kick off the 2010 high school football season. Our game of the week on KD Country 94. Osborne 38, Lakeside 34. The Knights with a football, first and goal at the Osborne 10. Rock Hills winning tonight 46-0 over St. John's Tipton. Beloit had first and goal at the 1 in Concordia, lost a yard on first down, had a false start, then threw an interception on second and goal. 4 minutes left in the game. Concordia with the ball, leading Beloit 12-6. So a close one there, but a lot lower scoring. This one, a lot of points, a lot of turnovers, but not too many here in the second half. First and goal at the 10, offset eye. The handoff, it goes to Bo Dominy, and Dominy is hit after a 3-yard pickup to the 7. Making the stop for Osborne was Schlellinger. Also there was DeMars. And we mentioned Justin Pruder, and we were told he went to the hospital, and he hasn't played since the first half. But we haven't seen as much of Co Weiss running the football here lately as well.
No, we haven't, but I've noticed here in the second half, we talked earlier about the opening game jitters and whatnot. And it seems like both teams have settled down quite a bit here in the second half. I've seen a lot more consistency and a lot cleaner, crisper execution on both sides of the ball.
Second goal from the 7, Rinkin on the quarterback keeper right up the gut. Gets to the 3. It's a gain of 4 for Alex Rinkin, who has done a nice job at quarterback. 13 carries, 69 yards, a couple of short touchdown runs. He has thrown 3 interceptions. One wasn't really his fault. He was hit when he threw. The other one was the last pass of the half when you're just throwing up for grabs. He did have a costly one early in the game that turned in the points for Osborne, but all in all, considering his first start at the varsity level, he and the offensive line have really held up well.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed thus far with Rinkin's decision-making. Like you said, 2 of those 3 picks really weren't his own doing. That you really can't fault him for, but he's made some good decisions on when to keep the ball and when to make a good move.
Third and goal at the 2. It goes to Miles Thomas. He breaks the tackle and then is into the end zone. Boy, Ben Webb had him wrapped up, but Miles Thomas too strong, able to get out of the arm tackle of Webb and in for the touchdown. And Lakeside now retakes the lead 40-38 with 8:13 to play in the fourth quarter. It's a 2-yard touchdown run officially for Thomas. His first touchdown run of the night. He had 10 TDs a year ago on the ground, 5 catching the football. It could be the team with the ball last going to win tonight. Here is Rinkin, play action on the 2-point try. He steps, he fires, he throws. What a catch by Shoemaker. That was a bullet, a missile thrown by Rinkin. It was behind Shoemaker. He, much like Dylan Spills at Osborne, would stick him on his hands, able to grab it out of thin air in the back of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 42-38, Lakeside back in front, but a long way to go. 8:13 to play fourth quarter. Back after this. This is high school football on KD Country 94 and on the World Wide Web, kdcountry94.com. And also thanks to our partners, network1sports.com. This is KDNS, Downs, Beloit, Kansas.
That was a really good catch.
That was a heck of a catch.
Blades always have free installation, plus Spears is Clinco generator dealer with sales and service. That's Spears Auto Parts, your local. Serving North Central Kansas since 1963.
42-38, Lakeside with the lead. All we have done here in the second half is go back and forth. We've exchanged leads because it was 26-24 at half Lakeside, then 30-26 Osborne, 34-30 Lakeside, 38-34 Osborne, now 42-38 in favor of Lakeside. We'll have to count up all the lead changes. Usually have a lot of lead changes in basketball. We've had a lot in this game. Here's a squib kick, picked up off the bounce by DeMars, and then he kind of takes a quarterback slide there, giving himself up at the 29. So the Bulldogs in business at their own 29, moving right to left in the second half. They're in the maroon uniforms with the white helmets, numerals and lettering, and the gold trim. Lakeside defending in the road white uniforms, black numerals lettering, the black helmets, and the black pants and the white helmets. We'll reset the lineups for you. Aramendi's out there along with Noah Miller defensively. Also Trevor Winkle, Connor Shoemaker out there defensively. Brandon Smith, Co Weiss for Lakeside. For Osborne, that offensive line has done a pretty good job. Schnellinger at center, Webb, Schultz at guards, Mick and Spears the ends. And then Pruder and DeMars and and sure have been the backs throughout the night, along with Slothower at quarterback. Here's Slothower and the keeper. Nice cutback, and Ethan's off to the races. The 35, the 30, Lakeside 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Osborne. Touchdown, Ethan Slothower. Officially a 51-yard explosion for 6.
Slothower, the first time tonight that we've seen him keep on that option. Faked the fullback coming through, and then he followed him right back, made a cutout to the left side, and it was over. Just too much speed.
Wow, wow, wow.
And all of a sudden, just when you thought it couldn't get any better.
Well, and the scoreboard keeper might get fired up here, the scoreboard operator. He's a hometown scoreboard operator. It was 42-38 Lakeside, and he put the touchdown up for Lakeside. And the Osborne fans have looked up and were like, what are you doing? They're going to have to get that fixed. They will. They'll get it
I'll
fixed.
bet you they'll get it fixed in pretty short order.
So the Bulldogs now will go for 2. 44-42 Osborne. Here's the counter. It goes to Damon Schur, and he's in for 2.
Big conversion.
That was big. So the Bulldogs retake the lead, 46-42 Osborne. But still, 8 minutes to play in this one. Perhaps the first team to 60 wins it, or maybe 70. Who knows? As their score now, they'll get it corrected eventually on the scoreboard. It is 46-42 in favor of Osborne. Right? It's 42-38. They got 8 because they got the 2. 46,
Yeah, it's
46-42.
46-42.
Keeping up on the chart.
Yeah.
Good, good. Just note the time and the score and
Got her.
who's in the lead, all that good jazz.
Program and a great point. 3,000 and 4,000 series discount. Great Point becomes a full line tillage equipment company to provide the key ingredients customers demand. Top of the line disc arrow. 6 models with range 23 to 36 feet in 3-foot increments. Promise reliability, cutout, optimum display, and a level finished surface. Check out the 3 disc arrow. Plains manufacturing.
Welcome back, 46-42. They're having some problems with the scoreboard and getting the points up there. Now Osborne cheers because Lakeside down to 0. Okay, now Lakeside has 42. Yeah, they got it. That's kind of a sarcastic cheer, but nonetheless, it is corrected now on the scoreboard. We knew what the right score was. 46-42. They did too. They were just having problems getting it up on the board. 46-42 Osborne. And Osborne kicked off, but there's the offside, so Osborne will go ahead and re-kick from the 25, so the penalty on the Bulldogs. Here's the kick. It rolls into the arms of Bo Domney. Domney on the far side with a burst of speed near midfield, knocked out on the far side in the Lakeside bench. It'll be about the 38-yard line. That's where the Knights will start. And one thing about this second half, Chad, is first half was exciting, don't get me wrong. But there were some mistakes by both teams. The second half, there haven't been nearly as many mistakes, and it's just been both teams going back and forth. It's been fun to watch.
The second half has been really fun to watch, especially from a standpoint of fundamentals and execution. It's been a lot cleaner played on both sides for both teams, offensively especially. Both teams having a little bit trouble now trying to find that elusive stop to try to get the momentum back and give themselves a more than 2-point either direction advantage on the scoreboard.
1st and 10, underhanded pitch to Bo Domney running left side, and Bo is tackled by Braden Schultz. A gain of 3 for Bo Domney into Bulldog territory at the 39-yard line. We talked about how much of a cleaner second half this has been. There have been 8 turnovers in the game, 7 in the first half, and then just the 1 interception by Lakeside here in the second half. 2nd down and 6. They give a gain of 4 to Domney. 7:20 to play, 4th quarter, 46-42 Osborne. Here's Domney, and nowhere to go. He is met, surrounded, and gang tackled by 4 Osborne Bulldogs, including Tyler Emerson. Also there's Stephen Mick and Braden Schultz once again. No gain on the play for Domney.
Well, when you've got more tacklers and waiting for the defense than you've got blockers coming at them on the offense, it's usually not a very good situation. It seems like a simple analysis on my part, but that's what happened.
Sometimes there's the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid, and you're right. It's simple as that. you're outnumbered there. You're not going to be able to run it very effectively. Rankin play action, wants to set up a screen. Knocked down and nearly intercepted. Boy, Dylan Spears. Osborne fans excited. That's why I hesitate here so you can hear what I say. Dylan Spears read that immediately and nearly was able to deflect that up in the air and intercept it.
Spears made a very good play, good heads-up play on that one. He was coming back to try to pressure the quarterback, and when he pulled his arm back to throw, he stopped in his tracks and just jumped up, put his hands up, and it's just as good as any other kind of stop.
4th down and 8 for Lakeside. Co Weiss in punt formation. The ball resting at the Bulldog 39 inside the O, a logo here at midfield. Weiss gets a running start to kick it. High kick, but short. Nobody back to return for the Bulldogs. This time he gets a forward hop, does Co Weiss. A couple times earlier had a backwards hop and lost yardage. And it is down inside the 10, down at the 8. So Bulldogs do not have good field position, but if they could matriculate down the field, as Hank Stram would say, and 6:32 to go, 4th quarter, you take a 2-score lead, that could be tough to overcome.
The way they've been trading points back and forth this second half, this is a big opportunity right now for the Bulldogs, and with their propensity, with their speed on the offensive side of the ball to bust a big play, this could prove to be a crucial juncture of the game here.
A lot of field to cover for the Lakeside defense. 1st and 10 at the 8. It goes to Sure, trying to get to the outside. Connor Shoemaker slows him down. Miles Thomas makes the stop. A gain of 4. A little bit of a late hit there by Braden Schultz against Julian Aramendi, who didn't appreciate it. I thought there might be a flag. It was kind of borderline. It's a gain of 4 for sure. But that time Shoemaker was able to stay and provide the containment. Sure couldn't get around the corner.
Well, he stayed in front of him, and he didn't go for that first little juke. Kept his shoulders square and didn't pursue. You get in trouble when you try to pursue a guy that can move as quick laterally as Sure can. He did a good job there of just standing his ground and letting Sure come to him and making a solid tackle.
Rock Hills won tonight 46-0 over St. John's Tipton. Game called at the half. Sylvan Lucas wins over Natoma tonight 28-14. Beloit trailing Concordia 12-6. Here it's 46-42 Osborne, making the transition from 11 to 8-man football, and I have to say it's been a pretty good transition. Under 6 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 46-42, Osborne with the lead and the football at their own 12-yard line, moving to our left. I formation, 2 tight ends, power set. Slothauer under center, gets it from Schellinger. He hands it off to DeMars, who's able to spin his way for a couple to the 14-yard line. Jacob DeMars, 8 carries for 18 yards, but he may have more than 18 tackles defensively. He's had a nice night.
Yeah, it's very possible. That was just about another one of those plays where Slothauer wasn't sure on that option read that he was making whether he was going to hand the ball or not, but he took his own hands off it just at the last second and let DeMars take it up the middle. And we're going to have a timeout now called by the Bulldogs.
Osborne wants to talk it over. We're going ahead and keep it right here as Lakeside trailing Osborne 46-42. Next week, more Bulldog football in Katy Country 94. Osborne travels up to Mankato to take on Rock Hills. That should be a good one. Dusty and Chad will have the call from Mankato. Todd Clover and yours truly will be over in Beloit at Trojan Field, a home opener for Beloit, as they'll host Ellsworth. That's a big league contest early in the season in week 2. Concordia leading Beloit late in the game up at Concordia tonight, 12-6. Don't forget, every Friday night we kick off our football coverage with the Football Express presented by Cunningham Telephone and Cable, as we write down all the matchups here from the coaches, provide analysis, get you set for kickoff. Pregame at 6:30 on both stations every Friday night, and then our games of the week on both Katy Country 94 and Z96.3 at 7 o'clock. It's all followed up by the Scoreboard Show, brought to you by Cunningham Telephone Cable. You can catch that tonight at 10:05 or whenever we are done broadcasting here from Osborne. 46-42, Bulldogs with the lead and the ball coming out of the timeout.
With just a little over 5 minutes to go here in the game, look for conditioning to maybe play a factor this early in the year. These guys have not played a full game at full speed yet, and we'll have to watch and see who can maybe take an advantage there.
Good point. Here's the handoff. Oh, no, they fake it to the up back, had everybody fooled except for Co Weiss, who saves a touchdown as Slothauer faked it to DeMars and kept it himself to the 25. It's a gain of 13 for Ethan Slothauer.
Same play they ran on that long play. I believe that was a touchdown play for Slothauer in their last scoring possession over the right-hand side this time instead of the left.
Approaching 5 minutes to play. That was a huge first down for the Bulldogs. They milk a lot more clock now. As long as they hold on to the football, they've fumbled it away 4 times so far, but all in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 25. The give to DeMars. He picks up 5. Tackled by Connor Shoemaker.
Good second effort by DeMars on that play. Got tripped up a little bit after gaining about 2 and managed to get another foot and a hand down out there and stretch that into a 5-yard gain. 4:37 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Bulldogs leading by 4. It was 26-24 Lakeside at halftime, and we've exchanged leads back and forth throughout this second half. 2nd down and 5 for Osborne at their own 30, moving right to left. Here's the handoff to DeMars. He picks up a couple. He nearly looked like there was a little bit of a bobble there on the exchange, and Osborne fans probably kind of had their heart in their throats on that one. They saw enough of that in the first half, but DeMars able to regain it and hold on to it and pick up a yard or 2.
Now Osborne, as it turns out, might be pretty fortunate on that play that it wasn't ruled loose, because I'm not so sure that ball didn't squirt out before he was brought down. But when you're in a situation like this and you've got 4 guys on you, you don't have the luxury of instant replay like you do in the NFL to go and check it from 17 different angles, but they'll keep possession.
3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. They're on 31. Slothauer keeps it. Boy, he is nailed. He is fortunate to hold on to the ball there. Co Weiss out there also helping out on the play and making the initial hit, it looked like, was Tracy Darnell. So a gain of 1 for Slothauer, and now decision time for Osborne. You're 4th and 3. You have 3:20 to go in the fourth quarter. More than likely, you're probably going to punt it away, but in 8-man football, you just never know. If you can hold on and get a first down on this 4th down and 3, you could ice the game, and I figured they might want to talk about it, and they will. Bulldogs called the timeout. So, Chad, it comes down to strategy here. You take a chance on a snap, a bad snap, getting the punt blocked. All kinds of bad things could happen, but at the same time, it's not like it's 4th and half a yard or a yard. You got a full 3, maybe 3.5 yards to pick up a first down in your own territory.
Yeah, you've got a full 3.5 yards, and like you said, you are in your own territory. Now, Lakeside has got penetration a couple times on these punts, but in this situation with 3:09 left, I think you've got to try to kick it back down the field. Lakeside, the one thing that we haven't seen out of them tonight is a big play. We really haven't seen any big play where they've stretched the field. There was the one nice pass play that they scored on earlier, but so far to this point, Osborne's been able to hold them and not allow them to bust a big one. So I would say that Coach Reiner right now is going to punt this ball, try to pin them as deep as they can, and make them come back 50, 60, 70 yards.
You're right, because when Lakeside has scored, it's taken them 4, 5, 6, 7 plays, or they've had the short field due to the Osborne turnovers. They've had the 34-yard touchdown pass after an Osborne turnover in the first half from Rink and the Shoemaker. That's their biggest play of the night. Meanwhile, for Osborne, they've had all kinds of big plays. A 51-yard run by Ethan Slothauer for a touchdown in the second half. You have Damon Schur with 4 touchdown runs, 3 of them 20 yards plus. So the Bulldogs have had the quick strike ability. Lakeside has been a little bit more methodical. So 4th and 3. Osborne lined up as if they're going to go for it. Lakeside has nobody back in case there'd be a quick pooch punt. And it looks like Osborne's just trying to draw him off with a hard cadence. Slothauer barking out the signals, and Osborne will either take a penalty or they will go ahead and call a timeout. Slothauer waiting and waiting. He's barking out signals. Lakeside knows what they're trying to do. Good discipline by the Knights. And so Osborne takes the delay of game, and they move him back 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 8.
And probably a smart call on the part of Coach Reiner. Give yourself at least some kind of opportunity to maybe pick that up.
They're going to put more time on the clock. That clock is running. They're going to put more time on the clock, because when the penalty was whistled there, that stops the clock, and there's at least 6, if not 10 seconds went off the clock, and that's super important, obviously, for Lakeside.
Absolutely, especially under 3 minutes now. Well, now the clock is shown. It should be right at about 3 minutes. But yeah, for Coach Reiner, it's worth taking a shot to pick up that, draw the defense off sides, pick up that first down, and then you can pretty much just run the clock out at that point, pretty close. But it wasn't worth taking the chance of giving him that kind of field position, so now he's going to come back and do what we thought he was going to do to begin with, which is punt the ball downfield and make Lakeside travel the length of the field.
This is the safer call as a coach, especially in your own territory.
It's the smart call.
3:09 left. They put 15 seconds back on the clock. Here's the punt. High kick, but not very deep. Weiss gets away from it. It is down by Sure as DeMar's able to punt the ball down to the 30. So Lakeside is 50 yards away from taking the lead. They trail 46-42. They have the ball. We'll be moving left to right. It's been a fun game to cover tonight. Sometimes you have a premonition about a game. Sometimes you can be way wrong. I had a feeling it would come down to the wire tonight. Just too many playmakers on both sides of the ball. And there for a little while, you wonder if Lakeside maybe could pull away due to some turnovers. But Osborne righted the ship, and now they lead 46-42. But Lakeside with the football. Rinkin, the underhanded toss to Weiss, who's back in the backfield. And they spread him out, string him out, and tackle him for a gain of only a yard. Dylan Spears with the open field tackle.
You nailed that one, Wade. They definitely strung that play out, forced him to keep looking farther and farther to the edge before he could find any room to cut upfield, and just ran out of real estate before he had to make a decision to go upfield. And now tick time for Lakeside as they are second and long.
Second down and 9, 2:28 and ticking, fourth quarter. Osborne by 4. Split backfield. Rinkin gives to Thomas. Thomas has some room. Flag on the play. Thomas to the 39. It's a gain of 7. It would set up third at about a yard, maybe 2, but the penalty marker on the play, and the Osborne fans and the players applauding. It is on Lakeside.
Going to have a holding call here against the Knights. Look like the left guard, and that's going to back them up 10 and bring up a third and very long situation. I'm sorry, they'll replay that down.
Well, they'll mark it off from the spot of the foul, which is at the 33. They're going to move it all the way back to the 23. So they have to go all the way to midfield. So it's going to be third and 17 and about 17 and a half for Lakeside. Actually, it'll be 2. They don't have the down there, so beg your pardon. It'll be second down, and they mark it the 23. So second and 17 and a half. Here's Rinkin. He airs it out. Far side. It's caught by Shoemaker. First down, Lakeside. What a huge play. Rinkin, the Shoemaker. Alex Rinkin's only completed 3 passes tonight, all to his favorite target, number 12. That is a gain of 20 to the Osborne 37-yard line.
Shoemaker actually looked to be double covered on that first coming out on that route. He had the corner on him and a linebacker cheating over that way to try to slow up his progress. But an excellent throw made and first down converted, and Lakeside in business across midfield coming in at 2 minutes.
2:07 the play. Clock is stopped. Here's Bo Domney running right. Cuts back against the grain. He is stood up by Slothauer. Domney, though, able to pick up 4, close to 5 at the 33. Clock continues to run. No first down gain. No timeout called. The Knights still have time to go into the huddle and see what they want to call here from head coach Kurt Christians. A minute 45. A minute 44 remaining fourth quarter. It is 46-42 in favor of Osborne. The Knights trying to win it on the final drive of the game. Moving left to right. Split backfield. Rinkin has time. Wants to throw. Being harassed. Now keeps it. Rinkin on the quarterback scamper has a first down to the Osborne 27-yard line. Boy, Rinkin, he waited, and finally tucked it under and ran just in the nick of time, or he would have been tackled from behind for a loss.
Yeah, he finally got to the point that he just had to tuck it and go. He only had 2 receivers downfield on that play, and the Bulldogs doing a good job of covering down the field. Nobody to throw the ball to, and he tucked it the last minute, ran up the middle of the field, brought it back to the right, and picked up a few yards and a first down.
A minute 18 the play. Clock moving. Offset eye from the Osborne 27. Rinkin has time. He throws over the middle. Almost intercepted. Going for Shoemaker at the goal line, as it was Mick and Slothauer, and if they hadn't run into one another, they may have picked that one off.
Slothauer had 2 hands on that ball as it went over his head. Just couldn't quite grab it. That would have been a game-saving pick there in a game. It would have been a little bit ironic for Osborne to win on a turnover
yeah,
after dropping the ball 5 times in the first half. But it's definitely interesting. It's a beautiful night for football, and it's a pretty good debut for me. I'm excited to be part of a good game here tonight. And let's see how this last minute and 10 plays out.
There's a huge crowd here tonight on both sides.
Good turnout.
And folks are getting their money's worth. The Battle of Osborne County. First time they played on the football field since 05. Second and 10 for the 27. Rankin drops back. Pump fake. Airing it out for Shoemaker, who was open, but he overthrew him at the goal line by a yard or two. Double coverage, though.
They've got Shoemaker doubled up. The last 3 times that he's gone on a receiving route, he's been double covered. But he did a good job there, run a little out and up, and was open. Had some separation, did a good job against that double coverage, just a little bit overthrown. We'd be looking at another back and forth score here.
3rd and 10 for Lakeside. They have it at the Osborne 27. 1:03 to play fourth quarter. Bulldogs clinging to a 4-point lead, 46-42. Lakeside still has time. They could still run it here if they want to, maybe surprise Osborne. They're not. Backpedaling. They're going to dump it off to Domney. Domney trying to get away from the tacklers, cannot. Boy, Osborne all over it as Rankin, a quick little dump off to Bo Domney, and Bo Domney had no chance. 4 Bulldogs devouring him for a loss all the way back to the 34-yard line. 33 now they'll call it.
Way that almost looked like a screenplay that never materialized. Domney came out there and he was just kind of standing there. He was only about 8 or maybe 10 feet away from Rankin when he threw that ball to him, but he had nobody out in front. It sort of looked like a screenplay, that there was just no blockers out, like a middle screen, and maybe the lineman went to the outside, or I'm not 100% sure what happened on that. It was a strange looking play and turned out to be a good play on the defensive end for Osborne. Dropped him for a loss, and now we're looking at a do-or-die situation
Yeah, no doubt
here
about
for Lakeside. 4th and 18 with 53.3 left to go.
Osborne leading 46-42. Well, if you're Lakeside, obviously you have to air it out. The other thing, too, if you're the Bulldogs, got to be careful not to get, we haven't had a pass interference penalty yet tonight. You have to be careful not to get a pass interference penalty, get automatic first down. So that's something to be fearful if you're a Bulldog fan a little bit, but certainly Osborne with the advantage. Lakeside with the ball at the Osborne 33-yard line, moving to our right. This could be your game. 4th and 18. Lakeside needs to get it all the way inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Actually, the 16. Here's Rankin, the throw. He fires across the field, left side, incomplete. He was trying to go to Connor Storr on an out, and Damon Sure, good coverage. Rankin had time to throw, but incomplete. And so now Osborne, all they have to do is take a couple of knees, and they should come away with a victory between these two Osborne County rivals. 46-42, Osborne with the lead, 47 seconds to play.
Well, once again, the offensive line that Coach Christians and his staff seem to be so concerned about did a good job once again, as they've seemed to do all night. I think they've done a pretty good job. That's something they can come away with this game and be pleased with. And now Osborne just going to come out in the victory formation. But on that last play, as Slothauer takes a knee, and they'll let it wind down. Last play, excellent coverage downfield by the backfield defenders for Osborne. Then it had to make a throw, had to make a play. It tried to do something, throw it down. Unfortunately, it was just a little about outside the outstretched arms. And now the Osborne faithful are going to stand up, give their home boys a round of applause. 23, 22, 21 seconds left. They will come to the line in the victory formation, take the knee one more time, and this one, Wade, will be in the books.
Sweetest formation you can have if you're a head coach or a fan or a player. It's called the victory formation. And the Osborne Bulldogs, listen to this crowd. They celebrate a victory, so they start their first season ever of 8-man football with a W over their in-county rival, the Lakeside Knights, tonight. Osborne fired up, well, they should be, as the Bulldogs come away with an exciting 46-42 victory over the Lakeside Knights. And if you're an Osborne fan, you're excited. Obviously, you can hear the crowd. Well, you should. If you're a Lakeside fan, there's nothing to hang your head about. They played well. It was the first game of the year. I think 2 evenly matched teams, as we thought, coming in. And Lakeside, we'll hear a lot from them later on this season. They certainly have a chance to make the playoffs. So do the Osborne Bulldogs as well. Can they, of course, stay healthy is a big part of it. We did have Justin Pruder leave the game in the first half, and they say he went to the hospital. Hopefully he's okay. We've seen some other kids maybe banged up a little bit, but this was quite a ball game. It was fun to watch, and whatever the fans paid for admission tonight, it was worth every single penny and then some. A great turnout from both the Osborne faithful and the Lakeside faithful as Osborne prevails tonight. Final score, the Bulldogs 46, Lakeside Knights 42. Back with our post-game show after this timeout. You're listening to high school football, KD Country 94, and on the World Wide Web, KDCountry94.com. Thanks to our partners, Network1Sports.com.
All the